Key pound.
In a world
Get the hell up.
where Carolina Panthers fans
Anthony from Charlotte, keep motherfucking pounding.
have an insatiable thirst
I need to see a lot more of that shit going forward.
for Panthers news and opinions.
All my C3 brethren from the C3 Legion.
Only one podcast roars ferociously.
The longest running Panthers podcast on the internet.
It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
Oh, Greg, I owe y'all $100, man.
What's good, Panther fans? Sauce is boss while Jaycee Horn plays on a bargain deal for the Carolina Panthers. How can you play on a bargain deal, Cody, when you were just weeks and months ago the highest paid corner in the history of football?
Tell that to the salary cap.
It is the C3 Panthers Podcast brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com, where every Tuesday night we chop up the latest Panthers news and opinions from the fan perspective. It's the starving time of Panthers football news, and that's a good thing as training camp nears and the 2025 season is about to get underway. I think we've got 2 weeks until, or 11, maybe even a little less, till the Hall of Fame game. Football's here, and you want it to be quiet. You want no arrests, no injuries. Let the problems happen to the Saints and to the Falcons. No problems here with my wheelman, Cody Lack. Good to hang out with you, my friend.
Tony Dunn, listen, C3 Legion, it may be the starving time, but the C3 Panthers podcast is here to feed you. As always, we've got a big show. We're going to talk about Jaycee Horn being on a bargain deal in spite of recent news. We're going to talk about Alvin Kamara throwing some shade at the Carolina Panthers fans and the energy in our stadium. We have NFL analysts saying that we are amongst the worst position groups in the NFL. Tony, there's always so much to talk about on a Tuesday night, and there's no way that I'd rather be than sitting here with my boys talking Panther football with the best damn Panther fans in all of YouTube. You know them and love them. It's the brand ambassador, Diesel Skills, Double JR, John B. Jenkins, Go Fish. What's up, brother? Justin K, Kristen Butler, my man D Money, Stonewall, the Cardiac Cat 13, the real AP, VR the Hope Dealer, West Justin, and Real Horsley. Tony Dunn, ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
The number's 252-228-5098. That's 252-228-5098. Cody, I had a dream. I think it was last night or the night before that I kept saying the podcast number wrong on the show. I was like, we've been saying it for a while. That's 252.
It's burned into my memory at this point.
I know, 5098. It's like the only number I know almost, other than my parents, my childhood numbers. 9:30. We're doing away. Still a little time to do the giveaway. I had it set for midnight by accident. I usually ended at 8. So the 20 minutes. Let me drop the link here in the chat to still get a couple of entries if you can into the giveaway for that Panther historic memorabilia from Bank of America Stadium. CK in the house. How you doing, my friend?
What up, man? We're just 1 week away from rookies reporting to training camp. Man, that's pretty exciting. 1 week to the day. So we're 1 week away from actually having substantial things to talk about, substantive things to talk about when it comes to the Carolina Panthers, and not speculation. We're going to be able to say that we're seeing this or that on the field based on reporters on the field being able to provide us an outlook of what they've seen that day. I think we're going to have to start getting to work on trying to get some of these beat reporters on the show during training camp, since fans cannot be there. So it's going to be it's an interesting time to start going into a year where it starts to again, it's oddly enough the Panthers are getting love from random places, and then they're getting hate from similar places. So I'm just glad to be able to talk about Panthers football and actually not have it be something that's just like, I wonder if we are going to do this. It's going to be like, this is what we saw today.
Good news, though, when it comes to the Panthers. I feel like there hasn't been a lot of controversy of opinion among fans. And that is, there hasn't been, maybe I'm wrong, you guys in the chat can let me know, has there been a real upset, where we just disagreed with the direction of maybe a personnel choice or coaching. Maybe I think last week we got a little bit into the double E conversation, but even that feels a little light, right? It just feels like this is everybody is just putting their head down, marching in the same direction at that point. Cody, what direction are we marching to tonight?
Yeah, man. So again, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Sauce is the boss while Jaycee Horn plays on a bargain deal. So if anybody's been paying attention to any of the news that happened today, we have a new highest paid corner in the NFL. Sauce Gardner gets paid what a lot of people felt he was very deserving of. The Jets have agreed to a 4-year, $120.4 million extension, with Sauce now getting $60 million in new guarantees. Sauce is now the highest paid corner in NFL history. And this is something that I said a long time ago, too. It's better to sign these players now because you know that these players are coming up and they're all going to jump one another to be the highest paid corner. Right now, you see the list. Sauce Gardner at number 1 with $30.1 million per year. Derek Stanley right behind him at $30 million. And Jaycee Horn at a reasonable $25 million per year. You have to wonder if Jalen Ramsey and Pat Surtain are a little bit upset at their current earnings, although how could you be, right? But yeah, shout out to Justin Doltoff on Twitter. Says it was a great idea to sign Jaycee Horn before these contracts blew up. This is pretty big news today. How do you feel about this new, basically identity almost, that the Panthers seem to want to have to pay players a little bit early rather than a little bit too late, almost like we did with Brian Burns?
Yeah, I don't know if you really paid him that much early. I guess you could have tested the waters for another year to see if you wanted to roll with him. But I thought that the Panthers even, they had to shit or get off the pot when it came to Jaycee Horn. And that is, you either pay him or you just play him and decide to part ways and find a different way to move in the future. Because I don't know if they learned their lesson, Cody, when it came to Brian Burns, but you just, I think the problem with Brian Burns, and maybe that's with our old leadership, is that you just didn't have an opinion on him, right? Like, they didn't know what the hell they wanted to do. They didn't know if they wanted to pay him, or maybe they did, to be honest. I mean, unless we continue to go back, CK, to that talk about like how we missed the trade opportunity with Brian Burns, the trade. And it comes back to the 2 number ones, and talk about that, is you did miss that opportunity if it truly existed. Outside of that conversation, the Panthers didn't miss the opportunity. They decided that it wasn't worth their stake, and they moved on with them. With Jaycee Horn, however, you have a fledgling defense, or a young defense. You have a top tier player, or at least who showed promise of being one, with a pedigree of being a first round pick, and really no other options. So shit or get off the pot. They paid him. I guess they could have waited 2 more months and paid more. CK, it felt like they just said, to me, what do you think this tells us about Brian Burns first? Is like, did that mean they just really weren't committed to him? I mean, they weren't, because they didn't pay him.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I think it's that they maybe didn't value him at the same level, right? That they value, Brian or Jaycee Horn. I mean, I think that's really what it boils down to. I don't think it has to be any more complex than that. I think that it was clear that from a position group, Brian Burns wasn't elite, right? And I feel like he was a good player, and I think he had the capability of being great. But I think when you're talking about even a above average or a good, borderline great cornerback versus a good borderline great, edge rusher, I think that you're going to take a cornerback in today's league with the way that these quarterbacks are just like constant. We have more elite quarterbacks in the league now then I think, I argue you'd be able to say at any point in history in the NFL. There's every single division, you're talking about 2 or 3 guys that you're putting in the category of, potential top 10 candidate if they, have the supporting cast around them. And so I think cornerback offers a lot there. I know edge still has an impact on those guys, and I'm not trying to diminish that. I just think that it's clear that the value of what a edge rusher or what a cornerback has, it's clear that our front office values the cornerback position right now over top of that.
And listen,
Sauce Gardner's first name, Cody, because you put him in over
Ahmad. His name is Ahmad Sauce Gardner.
See if they got the details.
My deal with Jaycee Horn, and listen, I know they just had an injury history. And shout out to KG73. This is really good. The injury history means you cannot pay him big money. But the Panthers did pay him big money. Earlier this year, he was the highest paid corner in the NFL, which is why I endorse signing him now, because now that contract looks brilliant. And, when you look at Derek Stingley and what Sauce Gardner got paid. And listen, I know those injury years, they were rough. And I'm not going to say that they weren't. But I genuinely believe that Jaycee Horn might be the singularly most talented player on the entire roster. Offense and defense.
You're probably right. A skill player is, because you want to say that you could say Derek Brown, but he's not skilled. He's like,
the big man help you win football games, but I mean the pure athleticism, the tackling ability, the interception ability, passes defended. We had this conversation a little bit last Tuesday, but Jaycee Horn is him. He really is. I don't mind saying this, and I feel like this is just going to pay off more in the future after he has another breakout year for us this year.
I don't know, though, if you got as great of a deal. Like if when you said what Sauce Gardner, you got a deal of a lifetime, or you said it very distinctly, like, wow, looking back, this is great because of the $5 million difference in this. But we'll wait to see what Sauce Gardner's contract. I'll try to Google a little bit more. It's not up on over the cap yet, but if you look at what this tweet says, what does it say? 120 with 60 million in new guarantees. Jaycee Horn, though, signed a 4-year, $100 million contract extension with $72 million in guaranteed money. So think about that. Is usually it's about the guaranteed money is how it locked the player in 4 years. Look, I tell you this, with Jaycee Horn's contract, if you go, in fact, let me put it up here as we look at it. We'll look at it one more.
And while you're bringing that up, Stonewall with the 199 asks, will Horn bring the leadership for the rookie DBs? And based on what you said during the Panthers blueprint, I think he will. Like Cardiac Cat 13 says, he made it a point to say that he wants to win a gold jacket with the Panthers. He wants to be an all-time great, and he wants to win a Vince Lombardi trophy for the Carolina Panthers. I think that level of dedication is admirable. He's changed up the way he trains in spite of the injuries that he's had, and he's been able to sort of continue to grow this entire time. Like I said before, a player like Jaycee Horn, I will never be embarrassed or blush looking at his numbers because of what he has the potential to bring to this organization. What'd you find, Tony?
Well, I mean, first I got some questions, and my question, you think I've been doing this podcast for 12 years, I would know the answers to some of these things. I wonder if there's a difference between a contract extension and a free agent contract, right? Like how when we think about them as an organization, like if you let a contract expire, right? Because it listed as a contract extension, says 4 years, but the 2025 year really doesn't look to be appear to be a part of the contract, maybe kind of lingering on to the old one, right? Because 4 years, 26, 27, 28, 29 are the numbers. This year you're getting him. Look at this, the cap number right now at $7 million. He only counts 2.6% of the cap. Next year it jumps to 7.8% as he goes to a $23 million, then 22 and 27. I look, the Panthers have an opportunity. I was a little surprised about the contract, because not surprised when you hear $72 million in guaranteed and it's $100 million contract. really, this is potentially a $80 million contract.
Right.
Because, I mean, if you have problems with, not problems, but they can get out of this in 2029 and save $25 million against the cap and just have $5 million in dead money. So it is 4 years if you count this year, but 5 contractual years. You get a free almost year in this one. So actually, this is kind of friendly for the Panthers, I would say. In a way, like, I mean, you kind of put aside that this is a lot of money. I think when you think about a contract for a team, right? Like, I mean, all contracts are going to be a lot of money, particularly when you pay top players, right? I mean, that's to say, oh, well, you got them for 30-second value. That doesn't happen, right? So you got a top tier player. But for me, a contract is more for an organization is can you pay a player fairly where they're happy, but also have a means to getting out of it if it doesn't work out for you. So say, some of the commenters said, like, I mean, you have a continued issue with injuries, which I don't think is really, it's been different for JC because they've not been giant injuries. It's not like a surgery. It's just like
they've been very weird injuries. That
different. It's like
different places.
Broke my finger opening the oven. But all on the field. He
broke his hand on a helmet or something stupid like that. Yeah, and shout out to VR the Hope Dealer for the 199 C3 bomb. He says, I love Horn's attitude as a leader. He performs and is not a diva like some corners. And that's a great point, too. You know, if you think about the traditional Panther personality that the Panthers as an organization have really sort of valued for a long time, I feel like Jaycee Horn values that. He loves football, puts his head down, goes to work. In spite of the injuries, he's never let that bother him. And I think he continues to play his best football as time goes on.
His dad was kind of a lunch pail guy in a way, outside of having the fun celebration of pulling the cell phone out of after a touchdown. I got a friend, Bob Rose, the Saints writer, and he had Jaycee Horn on his podcast a couple of times, and just really down to earth, go to work.
Joe Horn or Jaycee Horn?
Joe Horn, his dad, because he was a Saint, right? So Jaycee Horn is his legendary dad, legendary wide receiver for the New Orleans Saints. And he would go on, he went on my buddy's podcast a couple of times, and real down to earth, go to work mentality. And maybe there's a different era for some of these guys in the past. I mean, he was a wide receiver, is a very successful one, but I don't know if it's different today because the money is so much bigger, right? Like, I mean, in the early 2000s, these guys are star football players. They're signing multi-million-dollar contracts, but it's like, this is, I don't know if $20 million in 2008 is what, I mean, is $100 million kind of the same on pace, right? For what society was like, whereas has the NFL exploded so much where these we're starting to really hit some different level money. I mean, when we started this podcast, guys, in 2013, the cap was $112 million for teams.
Yeah.
Now it's what, 240?
Yeah, it's insane.
Look at that. It's 10 years or 12 years. And actually, I think it's good in a sense, is not only does it show the growth of the NFL, but that at least they're expanding the revenue sharing in a way that lets these guys share a little bit more money with the players and make it more fun. I mean, you got to give them money to the players for them to play. These owners are making so much money. I don't know. What does that tell you? Is that inflation? Is it the growth of the NFL? It's all of the above. Anyway, Jaycee Horn's dad, Joe Horn, kind of a lunch pail guy, and you can kind of see that in Jaycee Horn. The Panthers are now no longer notorious for paying the player the most money, but they get a guy that they need to build around and potentially have. I think this is a really great contract when I look at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the Panthers have a way out.
And you know what, Tony, to your point, that salary cap, it's not done going through the roof, dude.
Oh, no.
In a couple of years, I believe it's in 2030 or around there, all the TV contracts are up. So there's going to be even more TV deals that are going to be worth even more money. And NFL is king. Everyone watches NFL football here in America. So it's not going away anytime soon. Dude, you're going to blink your eye and it's going to be over $400 million.
Wow. That is a bold jump right there. I think about this is why do I love the NFL so much? Right. I mean, yeah, the product, the game, right, itself is important, right? It's a fast, slow game, right? Like the plays
Agreed.
are fast, but it's not like which I love hockey. I don't really love the NBA in a sense, but like the clock's always running in those sports. Right, there's no break. Well, maybe not in the NBA. There's so many breaks till at the end of the game. But in hockey, they just keep playing. They keep changing lines. Like you can look away and say, "Hey, hand me my drink," and miss everything in a hockey game. With an NFL game, you're like, "All right, I gotta watch this play." Then I get 8 seconds. Right, like you can. It's fast, but it's not like baseball slow or golf slow or something. It's a fast-paced game. I really think I don't know if the NFL may be threatening this with me personally. Is if you keep adding games, at what point I don't think you can have too many games. But that's what I don't like about I love baseball, the sport. I love the Cubs. I love hockey just as a sport my whole life. But there's too many effing games to be a fan.
Yeah, the games in the NFL are more consequential.
Yeah,
because there's not as many of them, and I don't know how many games they play in hockey during an NHL season.
82 or 86.
Yeah, so right now are we at 17 or 18? 17.
17.
Yeah, right now we're at 17. Dude, even if we upped another 3 games per season, that's still dramatically less than all of the other major sports leagues.
Still a week.
Yeah, 100%. Every single one of those games means even more. They're consequential. So I think that's why it raises the adrenaline levels a little bit, because you have so much to lose in so few of games relatively. I think that benefits the NFL, and it also helps that once you have that off season, now look at us now. We're craving football. It's right around the corner, and we're going to blink and it's going to be November, and we're going to be staring down the end of the season.
CK, your thoughts on the number of games, and then the other is what point, how does go ahead. Your thoughts on the games and how NFL has been the dominant sport.
I agree with Cody. So I'll bring it back to gaming as an example. There's a lot of people who like the NBA, and I would put, I don't know if anybody plays Call of Duty in here, but Call of Duty, when it first hit the scene, it was multiplayer, and multiplayer was like you were playing, small games. They were just not very, it was just fun. You were just trying to compete against one another, but there was really nothing to lose, right, with those games. And as you start to increase, you start to get to a point where you go from these little games that are 10, 15-minute long games to 45-minute long battle royale matches. Because when you're talking about winning a battle royale match, there is a lot more at stake by the time you just invested 40 minutes of your time into this one match. And if you're going to be able to win it, like if you lose, you feel like you've just wasted that time almost.
Or you got to run it back. We're going to run it back, and then we're going to be up till 2 a.m.
Right. And so I think I would put the same kind of, it was when you play a game like that, or when you watch the, your team playing in an NFL game, to Cody's point, it's so impactful having the season as short as it is, that it is almost invigorating. It's just like they talk about when you're watching football as a diehard fan, it's the equivalent of a 30-minute workout, because your central nervous system is overworking itself, because you're just like, your heart's pumping. I mean, how often we get to that last 2 minutes of the game where we're up by 7, they're driving the field, and we have to have a stop from our defense, and how our heart is just going absolutely crazy. Like, it's just, I don't know, dude, there's no better feeling to that. The idea of adding more games could bring a dilution to that, dilute rather that feeling slightly. I don't know if it was 2 or 3 games, if it would be that impactful.
Right.
But it's certainly, I could see an argument against it just based on the, we kind of are in a sweet spot with the quality of the games that we have right now.
Yeah, and even think about the NBA as well. Like, I'm not a basketball fan in the slightest, but I know they have a problem with big-time players sitting out games during the middle of the season. And you have fans that'll pay money to see Steph Curry and LeBron James and Giannis, and then they're not even playing. Whereas in the NFL, the only time you would ever sit your main players is if you're a lot to go to the playoffs and you're trying not to get hurt before the playoffs start.
Which that's what the NFL is always trying to avoid is too many weeks where a team has like locked up the spot. So imagine if you get to the point, is there a point where you add so many games that then a team can lock it up 2 weeks in advance and then like be resting players for 2 weeks or something like that? You don't want that. You want to keep the best players playing. I don't think there will be CK. I think there's a great point to like, as there will be a moment where you could add too many games where they don't become as consequential, right? Like where you can lose a game. It's not a big deal. I don't think the NFL is close to that. I think they could add 2-3 more games as long as you keep it under like, say 25 in a sense, if you made it the most extreme example, but say you went to 18, even 20 games, I think it still makes each game consequential. But where this really comes back to money for the NFL, right, is that they're trying to maximize revenue. So you added another game, you add another week of ad revenue, another entire week of stadium revenues, right? So that's why they keep talking about the other way the NFL has continued to expand over the last 30 years. And they've really been masters and commanders of this. And that is dominating the headlines. Like somehow the NFL can dominate the media space and all of this, even when they're not, right? Like they've done a great job of making the draft so important and such a
they space them out. The draft, free agency, all that.
We talk about dead time on this podcast, but the dead time is really like 2 weeks,
3 weeks at a time.
And, like maybe 2 or 3 spots. They've done a great job of dominating the media, but CK is going back to that is one way to continue to expand revenues is to add more games, right? But what they've really tried to do over the past is to get football on Sunday night, Tuesday night, Thursday night, right? Like this. I think this is where they could potentially threaten not me, but like the investment of a fan. I think what I love about the NFL is it's a reasonable sport to be a fan of. I can feel like first I do a podcast, but like I can feel like a great fan of the NFL where I'm watching the NFL in general. I'm watching my team like crazy, but I can also manage that with my life, right? Like as I got to watch my own team once a week. Yeah. I can pop in and watch, 1 or 2 primetime games. I can spend Sunday watching football. To me, what would threaten, kind of that diluting the importance of the NFL would be putting it on too many damn nights of the week. I actually don't want them to put it on too many nights of the week. I want to be able to be a fucking father, go to work. Not every day. Like, oh man, I'm a hardcore NFL fan. I gotta watch football every single moment of my life.
Dude, you're absolutely right. But there's a solution to that, and it's not adding more games. It really isn't. And this might not be an overly popular opinion, but I think it might be the best opportunity. Just add an extra bye week. See, the thing is,
I love that. I do love that.
They not even adding an extra game, add an extra bye week, because then you're talking about an additional week of TV coverage that you're talking about being able to add to that ad revenue. 90% of the amount of money that the NFL is making is from the broadcast, right? The broadcasting, the advertising.
One more week of TV.
Right. Adding an extra game is not going for every team you're talking about stadium revenue maybe being higher at that point, but you're also going to have to increase the amount of money you're paying the players, and the offset is probably not really worth it. If you add an extra bye week, you don't have to make an argument. That's honestly a concession to the NFL Players Association, and so
that makes you more money as an owner.
But it doesn't require you to pay any more to the actual to the players for that to be an increase.
Because their real money comes from TV.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Deals. You're giving every team 2 weeks. And here's the thing. If you were to do that, you technically could have every team in the NFL play on a Thursday night. And when you do that, you can create a mini bye in those situations as well, or something along those lines. I think it's very reasonable to look at this and say that's a win-win for everybody, in that you get prime time for every single team. You've got an opportunity.
And you don't have Sundays, CK, where there's 12 games at 1 o'clock. This is what drives me nuts sometimes, is you have 12 games at 1 o'clock, 4 games at 4 o'clock, and then the prime time. Like, you can spread all that TV love and prime time around, like you're saying.
Now they're going to streaming as well. And there's, now you have to have all of them. You have to have Paramount Plus and Peacock and Netflix. They're all getting theirs. There's so much money to be made. But also, like, just to speak on how much I love football, one, not only does college football come back, and that's exciting, that feels really consequential. But also, like, even when the Panthers do have a bye, I'm still just as locked into football. It's almost like a breath of fresh air.
It is
to not stress out.
Teams.
Yeah, to not stress out over your own team and their bullshit, but then watch a bunch of other really good players that you don't normally have the chance to really hone in on every Sunday. Football is just different, man. I also believe the physicality of football makes it so much more enjoyable, because any given play. Yeah, I mean, but it's still football compared to fucking basketball, where they're flopping like fish all over like the lunkers. It's so annoying. But flopping like fish.
Damn it. Flopping like fish.
Come on,
man. They be running into balls and shit. They do.
Shout out to the lunkers, and I'm sure John will give us an update here soon in the cat calls. But the fact that it's so physical and so violent, and the first game of the season, you can end up losing your best player for the entire year because it's that rough of a sport.
Yeah, I think that to me, it's like I do think that NFL, like, they have a great way of keeping the fan involved. Like I'm a fan of the team, and then also a fan of the league. And I think we can. I love the an extra bye week. I like that. Extends the season, but doesn't extend too much. Gives you the breadth opportunity to look around the NFL. That's a great thing there, and it keeps it competitive. Now, all right, I guess we were talking about Sauce Gardner. Before we go on, Cody, I feel like we should give away the prize pack here. Every third Tuesday of the month, we are giving away a Panthers swag bag, and a lot more to come. And I got probably about 15 or 16 more of these. I've got a couple of NFL logos that were pulled off. They're not in the greatest shape, but these Panther logos right here, full size, they're probably about 12, 13 inches wide and 8 inches tall. It's a metal logo that was salvaged from Bank of America. This month we'll be giving that away with that Home Sweet Home Carolina sign and a Voice of Panther Nation. We'll always try to match your t-shirt size if possible. Got large and extra large, mainly in these. Every now and we got a couple. You can enter these contests over a 3-week period of time in a variety of ways. I'm actually going to share, maybe this is, let's see, we'll give you guys the show how this works on my end. Competitions, go to competitions. I'll share this and you guys can see we're about to give one away. Multiple ways to give. Let's see. How do we get to this competition? Go to competitions, active, go to competition. Where are you? All right, 2 finished. All right, here we go. Thank here. We guys, this is so exciting right here, the way I'm doing this. I mean, we gotta, here we go. Here you go. Let's see. Click this. Where are you at?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Actions, entries. Can I just pick a winner? Winners.
There you go.
There we
go.
You
might want to hide. Does it have an option to hide their information? Some of these will...
I'll pull it down, but I show you guys. My whole point is that I'm not just picking it. All right. Draw winner right here. One winner right here. Drawing tonight. Let's see who we got.
Do a drum roll. We got to build up the suspense.
Kyle Finney. Kyle Finney won by entering by subscribing on YouTube. Oh, look, it told me what entry
It
got
was that
him
entered him.
in.
Yep.
That's great
That's pretty
news right there. The Panther swag bag goes to Kyle Finney. I will be emailing you for your mailing information, guys. There's gonna be
that's 910. Shout out Kyle, man.
nice.
Charlotte Sports 1.
Awesome. Great news there.
Way to go, Kyle.
Good news there. You have won the second giveaway, the July giveaway, guys. There are going to be plenty more. Oh, I'll pull this down.
No,
real
I
quick.
got it.
Stop
Yeah,
share.
yeah.
How do I stop share? Obviously, we are the best at producing giveaways. That was so exciting. I don't know if I was being sarcastic or not. Don't worry. There are going to be plenty more opportunities to give stuff away. Not only will we be giving stuff away every third Tuesday, Cody, I want to do some different things. I still have the Roar to 4 t-shirt that we printed that was going into the 2016 season.
Yeah.
And where we predicted that the Panthers win a 4th consecutive.
And Tony, how about you do the real AP a favor and everyone a favor? Remind them how they can enter to win one of these incredible Panther memorabilia baskets you have going out.
All right. Each month we will be giving away a Panthers swag basket, which will have some sort of historic memorabilia from Bank of America Stadium with some additional things to give away. I have some cool stuff. I've even got like a Stephen Davis signed picture. Like we got some signed cards, little stuff that I've collected over the years. They'll be given away. We'll put out an entry. You can do it on like Facebook, YouTube. Like you'll find this, like in a sense, the tweet will put the link up in the show throughout the month. And what it does is we'll have this link through Gleam, right? So if you look at this tweet right here and you click this, there's a link that says gleam.io. What this does is it takes you to this ultimately a giveaway page where you then follow on X. You have the opportunity to follow on X. You follow on, you share, repost on Twitter. Each time you do something, I think even if you're already following on Twitter, you click that and it kind of verifies that you are on Twitter. Say it says subscribe to YouTube. You click that and it takes you to the YouTube page. If you're already subscribed, it verifies that. And then you subscribe. If you're not, each time you do this on Kick, you get, we do bonus entries in a sense. Like I give more entries because I'm trying to continue to grow the YouTube channel and the most. So you get 3 entries by going to the YouTube page and subscribing or verifying that. So if you're a subscriber, you can still enter. You just go to the page and it says, oh, you subscribed already. Boom. You get 3 entries there. You get 3 entries through Kick. You get 2, 1 here. Facebook, you do all those steps, but if you click that link, it gives you the opportunity to do each step, right? So if you just go to the tweet and you hit repost, it doesn't really do it. It doesn't give you you got to do it through there. It gives you a point to where you can put your email in so we can contact you. Third Tuesday of each month, we'll be giving away these gift baskets. And then I got some ideas throughout the season. Cody, I still have some of those Roar to 4. They're kind of like an era card. I don't know if you guys remember in baseball, they would as we collected baseball cards and kids, that era cards would be worth a lot. And it would Mark McGwire had FU on the bottom of his bat and they didn't see it. And they printed around the cards and you could see it at the bottom. It said, fuck you on the bottom of his bat or just FU. And then they take those cards off. They stop printing them. But if you got one, worth a lot of money. I don't know if the Roar to 4 is worth a lot of money. I was thinking we would do something for best caller, worst caller in the post-game show throughout the season, and worst call gets a Roar to 4 t-shirt maybe or something like that.
Still left over.
All right, thank you. We'll be giving away another one in August. Fun stuff ahead. Cody, what's ahead for the show? We still got calls coming in just a couple of minutes, but let's get through another topic before we do.
Yeah, man. So listen, this is a crazy situation that's brewing with Shamar Stewart, the Bengals first-round draft pick. And it's relevant because we have not signed our own Nic Scourton yet. But before we get into that, just to kind of brief you on what's going on, the Bengals wanted to put a brand new clause in his rookie contract that basically no rookie has ever had to sign before. It gives a bunch of void years and avoids all the guaranteed money that you would be set to make. And now there's rumors, and it's more than just rumors, that the Bengals' first-round pick has left the team and went back to practicing with Texas A&M. Stewart now may not play in the NFL this season. He might return to Texas A&M and re-enter the draft in 2026. This would be an unprecedented situation. I wonder how much value he would lose by going back to college, and would it actually benefit him to go back? Or, this is just a crazy situation.
Is he a first-round pick or a second-round pick?
Yeah, first-round pick.
And
I believe
Sauce Gardner,
17 or 18.
Was Sauce Gardner first or second-round pick? You remember?
First. Yeah, he was
Okay.
top 5 pick, I think.
I wonder how much of an actual story this really is. I don't know. Like, we probably should get maybe somebody, Jason from Over the Cap, to come on and talk about this. But I just happened to have Sauce Gardner's rookie contract pulled up because we were talking about Jaycee Horn. So we're obviously what we talk about. I saw a Houston guy. Was it a Houston player got a fully guaranteed? Did you see that floating around? The rookie.
Which one?
I recently saw that maybe it was, I didn't click it because anytime I'm actually disappointed in a lot of like the way the internet is, like everything is so clickbait, even the most reputable sites, even like news sites. When it came to, what was it? I saw this story that was covered by, and I don't want to politicize because I don't really give a shit about anybody or anything outside of my family and friends and the people on this podcast. But it was about like the Trump, he signed it said Trump raises rates to go to federal parks. Raise it, like, and like I'm talking USA Today, all the heavy hitters, and then
I think it was just for like people visiting
for like
America.
people that don't live in the United States.
For non-Americans.
And then I found like it was like, and I read it and I was like, oh damn, no. I mean, there's like, and not that I don't even care. I mean, you can not like it, you could do this. I'm just talking about the nature of the way the headline was written. And then it was like the Arizona Sun Sentinel was the only one that was like, rates increase for non-citizens. Like they wrote the headline, but there were like 100 headlines that were all meant to either make you mad or get you to click. And they weren't just like from a podcast, like for us or something.
Yeah.
That's like, we're nobody's trying to get your attention. We're talking like the New York Times and shit doing this. Right. So like I have avoided this. I want to say, and I think I do this just by nature. Houston Texans rookie, contract full. Let's see. All right. Oh, it says this. Texans gave a second-round rookie a fully guaranteed contract. So a second-round player, I think first-round players generally get the fully. But why is there this argument? Go back to the player. What's his name for?
Well, his name is Shamar Stewart, but I was looking at the player that might be here on the list because we're going to talk about it with Nic Scourton, who has also yet to sign his deal.
Jaden Higgins. Jaden Higgins gets a
Jaden Higgins.
But the reason I bring this up is like, what is Nic Scourton and them? What are the problems that they're really having? Because I'm going to pull up.
Yeah.
Sauce Gardner's rookie contract. Watch this though. Wait, that's JC. Sauce Gardner's this is Sauce Gardner's rookie contract. Okay. And it says this in the contract notes. Ahmad Gardner signed a 4-year rookie contract with the New York Jets on 2022 worth $33 million fully guaranteed. All right. So 33 fully guaranteed. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess there's a way for the team to get out of year 4. Right? But it seems like it's almost impossible. They would have had $30 million in dead money if they cut him in 2025. It almost seems like this contract feels like it's fully guaranteed except for 20. Who is that? Yeah. And I don't know how, like, what are they really arguing over?
Well, again, there were provisions in this contract that no other rookie had ever signed before. So they were wanting him to do that. And then this is an older article that I found about Nic Scourton, so it's not quite up to date, but essentially it alludes to the fact that it's like a waiting game. Like all these other second round picks are also waiting to sign, that the second and third rounders normally sign a little bit later. As of a month ago, there were 16 of the 18 second round prospects that remained unsigned. These were a list of some of them, but then shout out to Diesel Skills, who says, yes, second round pick Jaden Higgins got a fully guaranteed contract and messed it up for all the second round picks this year. So this article by Anthony Rizzuti makes it sound like it's a matter of time, but now they're saying that this Higgins signing might have thrown a wrench into things. My question for y'all is there any thought in your mind that maybe we won't have Scourton for the start of the season or even training camp?
I wonder
don't know.
CK, did the Texans really, did they just fucking throw a bomb into the NFL, or is this like kind of the Browns and Deshaun Watson where it's a one-off?
Dude, I think that if I wanted to look at this, I would almost say this is like a Houston playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers. Like they knew that was going to make everybody else, and so all of a sudden, all these teams
like trying to
weaker.
Fuck their neighbor.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like they're like, hey, I'll take the cost of this right now because all these other people are not going to be willing to, and they're not going to have their second round draft pick to make their teams better at the beginning of the season because all of these guys are going to be holding out. What is it? 30 out of 32 have not signed their
That's
contract.
also CK is like, it's actually, we don't really care about the money. It's just we hope that 30 other teams don't have their second round pick this year.
Yeah. Like, am I wrong in that? Isn't it 30 out of 32 that have not signed, Cody?
That is a lot.
30
out of 32 of second round picks haven't signed. Is CK's asking if that's correct?
Yeah. So again, this article is like I couldn't find anything new relating to Nic Scourton, but yeah, this is it said that as of the end of May, 16 out of 18 hadn't yet signed, and does mention Jaden Higgins. He became the first ever second round pick to sign a fully guaranteed contract. The Browns and linebacker Carson Schlesinger followed up with another fully guaranteed. So we are in a bit of uncharted territory.
This doesn't really change the amount of money a team gives a player, right? It just is. In some ways, I think this is cool. Like if you fully guaranteed rookie contracts through certain rounds, right? It makes the draft more consequential. It makes players want to go into the draft more. You know what I mean? Like it makes that pick, the selection. Maybe I wonder if it takes away from the eliteness of the first round pick, right? Does the second round pick become more elite if you fully guarantee it? It's not like the amount of money that you pay that player is different, but the longevity, it's a shorter contract for second round players. I think it's 3 rather than 5. I really don't have a problem with the fully guaranteed part of a second round nature. I guess I think it makes your second round pick more meaningful. And when I say that, what it is how many times do we act like a second round pick doesn't matter in the past, right? Like, and when we're in the draft, we're like, second round pick, change the team. This is going to do it. But how many fucking second round picks have you missed on where it comes to, like, I can't even remember their names. Like the last second round pick that I actually remember, Moten was the second round pick. Love him. But like Devin Funchess, we thought he was consequent. What do we have? Mingo Bingo. Yeah, does anybody
we don't
care
ever have to
that
mention
Mingo,
him again, dude.
DJ Johnson, does anybody care about these players? Does it make maybe potentially the second round more the importance that we put it on in the draft by making it more financially important to these teams?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a certain case to that too. And again, the draft is such a crapshoot. You know, you don't know if you're going to have, you know, an incredible player like a Devontae Adams, who I believe went in the second round, or if you're going to have a Jonathan Mingo. And then now you hear all about all this stuff with Quinshon Judkins, the Browns rookie running back, who was the second round pick. Now he has an assault charge from his girlfriend. So it's like, dude, I don't know. Partly I see the perspective of the players and they're wanting to get paid too. But also there's this notion of you're not playing for your first contract, right? That's the rookie contract. That's not when you're going to make the bulk of your NFL dollars. That's the second one. So I don't know. I don't really know everything that holds up this process. But
you need to make it work. Like, I mean, yeah. All right. So if you say you're not making the bulk, you're not getting insanely generational, maybe changing money. But if you're a first round pick and you get $30 million, that's nothing to sneeze at, right?
No,
if
not
you're
at
a
all.
second round pick and you get 15, say you half it, say you get $15 million. $15 million to these teams. KG, my boy Kev, says fully guaranteed contracts for second rounders who might not even start a game is an insane precedent. But what if that's just a $15 million number, right? Is it like $15 million for an NFL team is like, pennies in a sense. And I think what you would just say is that for a player gets drafted in the second round is that it just makes that draft pick matter. It's like we want these players to love the team, to care so much, to go in there and try to make everything. But imagine if you're drafted in the second round and the team could basically your NFL career could end after 1 year and you made $5 million. By the time these guys take that offensive line out to lunch and they do those different things, they move and buy an apartment, they've got like $250,000 left over if they got cut the next year. I don't know. I think it sounds crazy, right? Doesn't it sound, fully guaranteed? But what is fully guaranteed? If it's $15 million, 3 years, is that really a big deal? Yes, it's like it does. I think it makes it consequential. And I almost feel like being drafted in the NFL, especially after the second round, is almost like a token honor. Like you're like, oh, I was drafted. And you're like, oh, third round pick. You really start breaking down the money. You're right, Cody. You got to play for that. You better get that second contract or else it's not as big of a deal as we think.
Yeah, and I love the bravado of a princely human Milan who says, yeah, I'm going to make y'all pay me real soon. And that's what you should do, right? And then, connecting it to the other story with, us paying Jaycee Horn, it almost benefits you to not be a first-round pick sometime. Sure, in the long run, you're paid more guaranteed money right away if you're a first-round pick.
If it doesn't work out, actually,
right? But if you're a second or third-round pick and you ball the fuck out, you're getting paid even earlier than some of those first-round picks sometimes. So I don't know, man. It just depends on what talent you actually
gotta
are able to
make
demonstrate.
It, dude. You want to make the money. You do the princely thing and you break the bank. That's what he's gonna have to do, Cody. Though. Right? Like as a third round pick, he's going to get enough some money that's going to be significant, right? Like, I mean, he's definitely making more money than anybody on this podcast. It's going to it is in a sense a life-changing injection of capital. But he is not walking away like these big ballers right away. He's got to go and make it. And he said this is that he's going to go and take David Tepper to the bank. The number is 252-228-5098. Do we have anything more to talk about on this subject, or should we take a couple of calls, Cody?
No, let's take a couple of calls.
All right. Perfect. You guys get in the cat calls line. The number is 252-228-5098. Let's hit them up, Cody.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use
one? I just want to say,
Hey, restart it.
Okay.
Hey, this is Xavier Lee. I just want to say, what's up, C3?
Excel, what's up, bro?
I'm just messing. One thing I want to say, people always mention how
I'm
we
listening.
need to get a free safety, but the scheme that Ebro wants to run is two safeties, not free or strong, and they just move around from strong to free whenever the play calls for it. So let's just say offensive play call gets audibled, and so the defense can audible as well, and so you can have the free go to strong and the strong to free, and that's why they brought in Morrig and Ransom, because they can both play both. So yeah,
That's a good point.
that's it.
I think they like that position versatility.
You got to have position versatility. I wonder I guess this question is the true free safety. What does this tell us about the Panthers and the direction of way they see a defense going? Is a true free safety, which is the thin, fast guy that's playing like the backfield in a sense, playing deep against the wall in baseball, deep center field in a sense. Is that a liability a little bit because you want them to get a little bit more involved earlier? And on the other hand, as we know that the game has moved to such an offensive juggernaut, right? It's like you got to deal with Tyreek Hills, you got to deal with these downfield threats, these big plays. So you want to have position versatility, but the game has moved to such an explosive nature. You really need that backfield guy. Obviously, you want people that can do both. The Panthers, though, I don't think they had the luxury, CK, of looking at the safety position of a guy that we could use, a guy that just sits back there and hawks and goes. Is that the run defense was so poor. They needed guys that can be involved in the pass defense, obviously, because they're a safety.
Yeah.
But it's all hands on deck in fixing this run defense.
Yeah, I mean, it should have been, as it came into the off season, most people didn't want to take a wide receiver number one, in their first round, because we needed to fix this defense. So yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that we still probably have some work to do on the defense, because we can't be naive and assume that we hit on every single person that we've decided to bring in. Legitimately, we can. We can't.
But we are naive every year, CK. It's like fans are like, oh,
we can be
smoking that hopium, bro.
Being optimistic and being naive are two separate things. Right. We are hopeful that what we have done is good enough to make this team better on defense. We are not naive and assuming every move they made is going to be considered an A+ by the end of the year. If that were the case, I mean, I'm not sure that there's a team batting 1,000 on that at all. There's some guys who probably get close, but I can tell you that there's probably not a team that consistently can hit on every decision they make in the offseason, because every person on that team would be gone to another team to GM another squad because of the amount of success that they're having. Like, we could talk about the Chiefs if we want to, but I can't remember the last time, outside of Brant Tillis coming here, and it's not even for a GM role, but I can't remember the last time anybody, went and tapped them for a GM, a guy coming from Kansas City to be a GM.
The draft is so consequential and inconsequential, right? Is
Agreed.
That you have to continue to build. There's 7 rounds of the draft. The Panthers have never had an incredible draft, right? I don't know. Is like we continue to look back at the Saints. Yeah, every year we think we have one.
No. I think we thought we had one the year that we had Jeremy Chin. Almost, in our minds,
second round potential
defensive player of the year, or
we went all defensive players. Yeah.
And it felt like, okay, maybe we have the pieces here. Because was that the year we went Burns as well?
No, that
it
was that
Was it Derek
year.
Brown?
No, that year we drafted. It was 2020. We drafted Derek Brown. We drafted Gross Matos, Jeremy Chin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
we drafted
and
some
Brown,
dudes.
while he didn't light it up, I think we all still saw a lot of shot, like a lot of positive from his game that first
Do you remember
year.
people talk shit about Derek Brown his first year?
Yeah, but nobody could ever really point to the reason that they were talking crap outside of the fact that he wasn't getting sacks. And
Yeah, that was the
never-
whole thing, is that it was a defensive tackle, and it's hard to see the value. It's like drafting a big guard and then making a strong difference, but you're not like, oh, we all of a sudden won games because or you got picks or sacks or things like this. Look, I think the only, and we've done this several times around draft years, like go back and try to find the Panthers' best draft. The one that is probably, in my mind, that is the best draft happened because somebody got sick and had ultimately the flu, which then they thought was a heart problem, where we got Star Latulele, who fell from the top, like a top 3 pick, to the Panthers at 9. Then you got KK. The 2015 draft, after the 2015 season, people went and regraded that, is which I actually have a signed picture. I was going to do it in a giveaway. I was going through because I've moved and I looked through all, I've been unpacking all this stuff that I have. And and my girlfriend said, you want to give this put this in the giveaway? I said, no, I'm the only person that wants that. It was a signed picture of Ben Wickery. Sticky Wicky, which I like, which everybody shit on, but you had a couple of players that came out that were important, but then in retrospect, they didn't make a long-term difference. The Panthers have not had real games. What you need, I think, is what's the number? I think 2 makes a good draft. If you have 2 players out of draft that become mainstays on your team, it's a good draft. If you hit 3, that's a great draft. 3 out of 7. If you can get that, that's a great draft. I'm sitting here going, you got 7 picks, guys, or 6 picks. And I want 2 out of 6 to be on the team in 3 years. And that's a good draft to me. But we need a great draft, dude.
And by the way, you see all of the better teams in the NFL, they do this. The Ravens have had multiple drafts where up and down from top to bottom, they have good players that they draft. The Philadelphia Eagles have done this recently as well. I know we all mentioned that 2017 draft that the New Orleans Saints had, which had Alvin Kamara, we'll talk about later, Ryan Ramczyk, the corner that just left them, I forget his name off the top of my head. But yeah, we have to have a draft like that sometime soon. And then the Panthers could be at the top of the division, maybe even the NFC. As optimistic as that might sound, you realize the Texans and the Commanders have done that subsequent years in a row. It shouldn't take a ton to turn this team around to be a juggernaut. We just have to draft correctly.
But that's not easy, Cody. It turns
not
out
at all.
That's not
but
easy.
It's not impossible either.
Tell me, all right, think about this, is that out of all the drafts that we've had, off the top of your head, where you have 2 players, you have 2 players that make a long-term impact on your team. Impact. And don't give me Brady Christensen, right? Because we just argue over him. 2 players that become significant to your team. The Panthers, we rested on our laurels as fans with the Marty Herney, bring Marty Herney in here for first round. It's the Panthers just for a long time just got first round pick done and then couldn't do anything after that. Trying to think who were our picks last year. I guess this is a great time to bring this up. Jonathan Mingo, right? Not Mingo.
Yeah.
No, XL. XL was the first round.
Yeah, it was the first round. We traded up to grab it.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think. I can't think of a year where we still have 3 players. And maybe last year actually will be it. You had first round pick. We had who we picked first last year overall at
last year was Xavier Leggett.
Yeah.
So that was our. What did we trade away?
Yeah, we traded up into the
because we traded away for the Bryce.
Yeah,
we get
we were
XL,
because
and
we didn't
then
have a first round because of Bryce in that trade.
that makes it
within the
even
next
more
year.
difficult. Who are we getting the second round?
Second round. God, what am I in class? Am I one of your students?
I don't know. I'm
here?
like in a stupor. Like I'm in a brain fart here. Who do we get
Hang
in the
on.
second round
Of what last year?
Yeah.
It was Jonathan Brooks.
Ooh. So like right away we're at a failed draft.
Certainly would be an argument that it was a failed draft.
Okay, well, we'll save this. I saw something where we'll take another call. I want to come back to XL. I know
Jonathan Xavier, look at Jonathan Brooks, Trevin Wallace, Jatavion Sanders, Chow Smith Wade. And see, that's another thing.
Actually, we might have had a good draft.
That's what I'm saying. Last
would have
year
been a great draft. if Brooks
depending
worked out.
upon what those guys do for the rest of their career. I know there's a lot of high expectations for Trevin Wallace at linebacker this year. I know Jatavion Sanders showed
That's
up
the sleeper.
Not the
That's the sleeper. That's the gold
looking
pick. there.
rocked. Yeah, and Chow Smith Wade even has an opportunity to actually make an impact on the team this year, especially if we don't end up signing another defensive player for the backfield before the start of the season. So you never know, man. Maybe Dan Morgan is going to be the who bucks the trend to start being a consistent, good drafter for the Panthers.
All right. The number is 252-228-5098. We'll take another call.
What's up, C3? It's Kyle from Spartanburg. I was just calling in to ask you guys for a little help here. So I'm trying to do a Panthers NFL season bet, and I want to try to get a consensus on these numbers and see if I should go over or under. So I got three of them. Bryce Young, he has two lines. He got passing yards and passing touchdowns.
Oh, okay. This
The
is
yards
fun.
are 3,000, and the touchdowns are 17.5. I think he can go over 17.5, especially with Carolina there now and Leggett hopefully being able to hold on to a couple more balls. I think it's really doable. The other one is Chuba. All he has is rushing yard line, 950 rushing yards. Of course, we signed Rico Dowdle and drafted ETN, so I'm not sure how much of a workload he'll mainly get for him to basically get another 1,000-yard season if we go over. And the last one is Tataroa. He has two receiving touchdowns, 4.5, and receiving yards, 800 over.
Who was
under.
that? Who was the last?
Tataroa McMillan.
800 a lot for any rookie. I don't even think Marvin Harrison got 800 last year.
Yeah, that is a
Not
lot.
sure what
And there's a lot of mouths
but
to feed, too.
Those are the three lines. Y'all can help me out. Let me know what y'all think about these lines, and I'll get that bet in. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all. Have a good show.
Try to
See ya.
recap that was Bryce.
So
17
Bryce
and a
was
half
over 17.5
touchdowns.
tuds and over 3,000 passing yards.
You got to take both, or can we just take one? So, like, my first question with Bryce is do you feel more comfortable taking 18, right? He's got to get 18 to get the over, right? Or over 3,000 yards passing. I almost feel like 18 touchdowns is more comfortable to me than 3,000 yards. I mean, 3,000 is, if he's not getting 3,000 yards, we're going to be really pissed.
Yeah, that's sort of, and I have that
one
in the
touchdown a
show
game,
later.
homie.
Yeah, that's not ideal. I don't know though, but then again, thinking about yards after the catch, if you have a player that dumps it off and and it goes 60 something yards, I feel like this offense is built to be a very play action pass happy offense with a lot of guys that can get yards after the catch. Also, considering how much we're going to run the ball, that plays into this too. I mean, we're looking to be a run-heavy football team. Sort of like think of what the Lions did last year and how they were a dominant rushing attack. That could eat into Bryce's numbers.
I like touchdowns more than yards there, right?
Sure.
If he's not going over on both of these, we're going to be disappointed in a lot of ways, right? But I think touchdowns, and maybe I'm just wrong because like it just seems too easy. 17 touch, that's one touchdown a game. And
Yeah,
then
you're
one
right. If we
game he
don't-
has 2 touchdowns. Like if we walk away from 3 games this season and Bryce has no touchdowns, I don't care if we win or not. We're gonna be a little bit like, how did he not have a touchdown this game? I would take the over on touchdowns. I would take the over on both. Maybe I'm being just optimistic here, but like if he doesn't have 18 touchdowns in year 3, if he has 16 touchdowns and 17 interceptions, they're gonna be shopping for another quarterback next year.
Yeah. Go ahead, CK. I'm going to bring it up because I actually have that in the show.
CK, your thoughts on Bryce Young, 17 and a half touchdowns. Which one would you, if you had $100 to put down right now, would you put it on the over 3,000 yards or the over touchdowns there?
One or the other?
Yeah, like if you could only do one, we're in Vegas. I say, here's $100.
I do touchdowns. Is it only passing touchdowns that it's referring to?
Yeah.
Is that what it says? Okay. Yeah, I would do touchdowns.
And really, if he doesn't do both, CK, we are going to be some pissed off motherfuckers.
Well, yeah, it will be. I personally think this is most likely the easiest bet to pull the over on both of them out of any potential quarterback in the NFL. They are naturally going to be putting him at a lower number because he's never surpassed those numbers up to this point. So I think we're going to the only thing that would concern me is the potential of injury or something along those lines that would make that not a good
that's
bet.
a good point.
Outside of that, I mean, you're really just betting on him being healthy throughout the year is really the only thing I think that you have to be concerned about with this.
Full season, CK, though, say 17 games.
Yeah.
And all right, so if Bryce Young throws 3,001 yards, 18 touchdowns and 11 interceptions, I'm still like meh. You better damn do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too, man. We traded too much to go up there and get Bryce. And again, I hate to relitigate the past, right? But you moved up for the shortest quarterback ever drafted, number 1. He didn't have the biggest arm out of any of the big 4 quarterbacks in that draft. Sure. And then you have people from NFL Spin Zone writing stuff like this, that Bryce, out of almost every NFL player in the league this year, has the most on the line. It says, after playing terribly for about a year and a half, Bryce Young really began to put things together in the back half of the 2024 season. But the regime that drafted Young in the first place isn't there now. So there's a ton of pressure on his shoulders to put it all together in 2025. If not, Panthers GM Dan Morgan might be motivated to make a bold move for another quarterback, as this roster is actually better than you think. But there is a reason to believe Bryce Young can explode. And Tony, after every move that we've made the past 2 years in a row, our first-round draft pick has been a receiver. They have spent considerable money bolstering the offensive line to the point where we spend more on our offensive line than any other NFL team.
Good.
You have a tight end. You just drafted another one this year. This offense is set for Bryce Young to thrive. I don't think that it's outside of the realm of possibility that if Bryce does not take a great stride this year, that we could be looking to move on. And to tie it back to the cat call, I believe if he hits the under on both of those, if he doesn't throw for 17 and a half and doesn't go over 3,000, I'm sorry. I'm looking to upgrade that position.
Those are reasonable numbers. I would kind of be interested in what the over-under was for his rookie year, because I remember people being like 3,500 yards, 27 touchdowns, stuff like this. I don't need him to exceed those numbers insanely. Like, I don't need 40 touchdowns. But I think if you're not getting 18 touchdowns, like what the hell's going on with this offense? If you're not getting 3,000 yards, what the hell is I'm hoping for like a 38, 4,000 yards, 23 touchdowns would be a great season. That's the numbers I'm looking for, in a sense, as like, and I don't know what the magic number is, but those numbers seem very reasonable. Sure. I don't know if, like, from a betting standpoint, if it's a good thing, right? Like, because Betting is different, right? That's reality. But as a fan, that's like you're damn right you're going to get 18 touchdowns and 3,000 yards. You better, motherfucker. Because the next number was, 1,000 for Chuba?
I have to go back. I believe so. No, I thought it did Excel.
Well, no, the last one was Tet.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Maybe. If I can...
Hold on to a couple more balls. I think it's really doable. The other one is Chuba.
Yeah.
All he has is rushing yard line, 950 rushing yards.
950. I think I think is a more risky bet, right? Like, I mean, I think you want 1,000-yard rusher in Chuba. I think Chuba has shown that he can do that. I don't think the Panthers, though, right now have positioned themselves to only hand the ball to Chuba Hubbard. So I think he could have an 800-yard season, and then you get Dowdle with 600 yards, and they get Etienne. To me, I would be more comfortable putting my money on the Bryce than the over on Chuba. I mean, 950 is like, again, he's got to do it one more time. I could have Chuba having a 900-yard season and still be happy with the run game.
Yeah, I'm very bullish on Chuba and our rushing attack this year. I really think that we have the potential to be a badass running team. I think
he's going to get over 1,000 yards rushing?
I do. I do. I think this is going to be a second year in a row getting over 1,000. And then the year before, he got 900. So, I mean, the dude has been a very productive running back for a long time. Yeah. I mean, I know that he's also splitting carries with Rico Dowdle now, but to me, he's the main back. I believe that this offense is going to run through him.
Dowdle's explosive.
He was also 1,000-yard back.
I would bet my CK will pass it to you. I'm putting the over on both Bryce on 18 and 3,000. Maybe it's Pride, but that's Pride fucking with you. Old Pulp Fiction reference there. I won't say hesitant, right? Like, I mean, 1,000-yard season for a back is not that cool anymore. Back in the day, you would say, 1,000-yard rusher, but you've added games to the situation, right? Like you've upped it, 15, 16, 17 now. So, I mean, look, you're talking about him hitting 60. I'm going to do the math here. CK, your thoughts, if you gave you $100, Chuba Hubbard over 950 or under?
Only rushing. Not that I don't have faith in him. I'm gonna go under on this one.
I probably would go under. It's under for some reason, just because like Vegas has a reason for doing stuff. But when you look at what the number is to get 1,000 yards as a running back, he has to get 59 yards a game.
That's not crazy.
It's not.
That's not at all.
That. Oh, I understand that. But think about this, because we go to the last one, which is 1,000 yards for a receiver, which would be the same exact number, right? 1,000-yard receiving for a receiver. Somehow I'm like, they could get this easily. And then somehow no receiver ever gets over 700 yards for the Carolina Panthers. They're averaging 40 yards a fucking game.
Yeah, I mean, to me, Rico Dowdle just doesn't cut into that enough to stop him from getting 1,000. And I really do think, this is the only part of the team that I'm truly bullish on. When it comes to the passing game and the defense, I want to see it before I start giving a bunch of accolades. But I think based on what we know the running game to be and who we know our running backs to be, I think there is a really good chance Chuba goes for 1,000, and not as good of a chance, but still a really good chance that Rico Dowdle could also get into that 850 plus, even up to 1,000.
Awesome. Well, double trouble.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. We haven't really had that since D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart were burning shit up. But
I'm
I mean, to me-
okay with the overs on Bryce. I'm actually okay if we said, look, is Chuba like he should get over 950, right? But somehow when we talk about betting or whatever, I'm like, oh, they're suckering me. They're suckering me. So maybe they're playing into my psychology. I would feel more comfortable putting that $100 CK on Chuba over. Then the last number, though, was I think the problem, not the problem, it was, I think this is harder, and that is Tet with 800 receiving yards. And he put, hold on here. Let's see. We're going to listen to the damn call again. Sorry, I love your call. I don't want to.
What's up?
Just because I should have been writing this down.
Receiving yards, 800.
800.
If we go over.
Okay.
And the last one is Tataroa. He has 2 receiving touchdowns, 4.5. And receiving yards, 800 over or under.
Ooh, this is
So,
tough.
okay.
I would almost stay away from Tet.
So I have said that I'm predicting 7-7 from Tet in 2025.
So you
Seven,
think
seven I think more than 7 touchdowns because he's such a big bodied presence in the end zone. And, even if he's covered, he's a jump ball receiver. If you put it somewhere near him, he's supposed to come down with it. So I think I would go over on the touchdowns.
Wow.
But because there's so many mouths to feed, Xavier Leggett, Adam Thielen, potentially Hunter Renfrow, you have Jalen Coker,
Sanders.
Jimmy Horn Jr., Jatavion Sanders.
Bryce Young got locked for 18 touchdowns.
I would go under on the passing yards for Tet.
4.5, a reasonable number, right? What Leggett had 4 touchdowns his rookie season.
Yes, 4,
which is significant. I mean,
it's not nothing.
They know how to tease us, don't they, CK?
Yeah, they do. If we're talking about this is a Tet set, right? 4.5 of the over
4.5, 4.5 for a Tet and 800 yards receiving.
I'm going over 4.5 for Tet.
Nice. Good, significant rookie
I'm going
season. 800
realistic.
I mean, not realistic. 800 a big number.
Yeah, I'm going under on that, and that's solely because I think that he is going to be a big body in the end zone, and I think they're going to be pushing the ball to him a lot in those circumstances. But I don't know that with all the pieces like Cody had alluded to, I don't know that we see him getting 1,000 yards.
Yeah, you're talking 80 yards a game.
Yeah.
Or no, you're talking 60 yards a game, actually. That's what you're maybe even less. Seems like he should do that. But the last time, I mean, if you get 7-7, Cody, we're going to the bar. If Tet McMillan makes 707 touchdowns, we're making 7-7 the official drink of the C3 Panthers podcast. Let's go to the next call.
Yep.
Hey guys, John B. Jenkins here calling in.
What up, John B?
On alternative football league where else the world. And as always, I'm going to start off with an update on the European League football and an update on your favorite team in that league, the Panthers roster. Well, the Panthers found themselves in the win column again this weekend. They are at 5-3 on the year. They finally beat a team with a winning record. They beat the Prague Lions 41-38. This was a back-and-forth game. This was, first of all, overall the most exciting weekend in ELF history in the 5 years that I've been watching this league. But this game in particular, we went up 2 scores, then they went up 2 scores, and then we came back to win it at the end 41-37. And a lot of it has to do with our guy, our quarterback, our man, DJ Mofo Irons. DJ Irons from Akron. Dude was 20 for 28 for, 185 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. But more importantly, the dude had 13 rushes for 153 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground.
Nice.
DJ Irons is actually the leading rusher in the entire European League of Football. And that's our quarterback, y'all. I said it before, I'll say it again. This guy, watching him play the game reminds me of a young Cam Newton. So go on to YouTube and check out those highlights. Now, moving down south to Mexico in La Liga de Football Americano Profesional.
Oh, did your We can't hear you, Tony, or the call.
Hey guys, John B. Jenkins
Hold
here
on.
calling
I
in
was
from
trying to
another
text and it ruined the call.
leading rusher in the entire league of entire European League of Football, and that's our quarterback, y'all. I said it before. I'll say it again. This guy, watching him play the game, reminds me of a young Cam Newton. So go on to YouTube and check out those highlights. Now moving down south to Mexico in La Liga de Fútbol Americano Profesional. They just wrapped up the Pezón Mexico Ocho, which was the Mexico Bowl 8. Our Osos de Monterrey found themselves facing off against the Mexicas of Mexico City. It was a low-scoring defensive game. Defense wins championships. Unfortunately, we came up short. It was 13-12. We scored first, and we had a chance to actually win it at the end with a field goal. They iced our kicker, and then when they reattempted the field goal try, they ended up blocking the kick and holding on. So that's the last update for this Mexican season. I'll catch up on that next year. And then moving over back up north to the Arena League. Guys, you got to check it out. Our Lunkers got another win with our new quarterback, Tyler.
Let's go fish.
A.K.A. Colta Mania. You want to check out those highlights on YouTube. And then one little funny note about this league, they don't have kickers, and the way they kick the ball off is actually by throwing the ball off. So you got to stand in the back of the end zone. The ball has to get at least 40 yards for it to count. And so they don't have your regular quarterback do that. What they do is they have a throw-off specialist, and our throw-off specialist is none other than Tom Butters. What a name.
Tom Butters.
Anyway, that's all I've got for today's update. As always, keep pounding Carolina Panthers.
Keep pounding
Panthers Frost off.
Go fish.
Go fish. Bro, shout out to him, man. Panthers rush got a badass quarterback, it sounds like. We might need him if Bryce doesn't hit the over on those numbers this year, man.
I want you guys to be thinking about this. Is there a way that we can, I won't say crowdsource the bets, right? That's not it. It's like, what if we said this is the 3 bets, or actually it was 5 bets, I think, because it was over under on passing, yards, Chuba, and then receiving and touchdowns. That's 5 bets. What if we said we're going to put $200 down as a podcast, or no, $250, 50. We did something like if we got like the week before started, we just got 20 super chats, no matter the monetary, right? Like what if we just said we want 20 super chats and we'll put down, we're betting all of these joints. So basically you could have $22 super chats. And I'm saying, as a podcast, we're going to put the money down.
Mm-hmm.
Or do we need to get 20? I mean, like, what can we get? I mean, I almost want like 1,000 subscribers, but that's impossible. It feels like, I don't know. We're going to put some money down. We need to put some money. We need to put our money where our mouth is as a podcast. You guys give us your ideas of how we could actually do that and gamify it. Gamify it as we go. The number's 252-228-5098. I think that was John B. Let's go to I think the Hope Dealer.
CK, Tony Dunn, Cody Lack, the C3 Legion.
What up?
Hope Dealer checking in real quick. Hey, I was just sitting here thinking, in 2015 when we had our Super Bowl run, my kids were 11, 8, 5, and 3 years old.
My man.
11, 8, 5, and 3. My kids
family.
are now 21, 18, 15, and 13. Why do I bring this up? My wife and I were talking, about our 4 kids and how they've never witnessed real winning Panther football. They've never witnessed back-to-back winning seasons. And every year they when training camp is on the horizon, I start getting excited with the preseason and everything. And my kids, they ask me, Dad, why do you do this?
Yes. Oh,
why
I get this from my children.
Why do you get all riled up and, you get sold hope? You're supposed to be the hope dealer. You get sold hope. The NFL is great about selling hope that it can't deliver on. And my answer to my kids is always, I don't know, kids. I can't explain it. But this podcast, y'all, is like therapy. I appreciate
awesome. This is my favorite call
so much. I appreciate y'all.
Call of the night.
I'm just hoping, y'all,
Appreciate you,
with all
dude.
sincerity, I can look at my kids in the face this year and say, kids, we going to do it. We going to make the playoffs again.
Great call. Great.
At the end of the year.
Miller, much love to everybody. Keep paying.
Hope Dilla. I'm hoping at the end of the year you can show the final record that the Panthers accomplished during the record season or during the season to your son and be like, this is why.
This
is why we do it. You got to go through the hard times in order to enjoy the good ones. I feel
hate
like
to tell you, bro. You whatever season we have, unless it ends in a Super Bowl this year, you can't say that, Cody. Like at the end of the year, not gonna be like to your kids, we go 10-7. You're like, this is why we do it. I'm telling you, this is that call. First, wonderful call. Always a great caller. That hit hard. I also said, fuck them kids in the middle of the call. And I have 3 kids. I love my kids. Don't worry. And my sister has 4 kids. Right now I'm in the struggle of not a struggle. I love my kids to death. I mean, who doesn't? You know, I don't want you to clap about me loving my kids, but being a parent is tough. It's tough. Like you're juggling your life, their life. You're like always trying to be a good parent. You put so much pressure on yourself to be a good parent. Like you're like, oh, I made one mistake. Am I bad? But like all of this stuff is difficult. And just in my season of my life, things had changed and stuff. And you're like continuing to reevaluate that. And parenting is relentless, dude. And that's what I'm like. I'm in a season where I'm trying to establish like a new culture. Basically, that's wild is that I just use a football reference for my family. I'm trying to establish a new culture. Right. And like, it's like, all I feel like is a bit like, it's like, you just got to be, I don't know what the answer to a parenthood, but like, it sucks. Like consistency is like, it's easier to just be nice and do whatever.
Yeah.
And tell your kids it's awesome. Tell you this. And like, I'm worried about being like, I feel like a bad guy all the time. And not a bad guy. It's just like picking up your shoes. I'm like, oh, it's just a cup, Dad. It's just this. And like, you have to always, it's stressful, my man. When you go through that, what he said, 21, right? My kids are, I'll tell you their ages. And I just have the other thing that's really difficult, especially, and it's hard for people to understand this, that only have a hobby baby and one baby. CK, you're at 2, right?
Yeah.
Do not go more.
Do
not go more.
Did you say a hobby baby?
Yeah, one baby is a hobby baby, bro. As long as they don't help, this joke hits. This joke hits everywhere, but I learned not to make it. I always say, somebody says, I say, how many kids you got? And they go, 1. And then I learned that you make this joke, you have to ask one question before you make it. You're like, do they have health issues? Because if they're like, oh, my kid is got all this shit going, this joke does not hit if they have a bunch of stuff going on, right? But like if that kid is healthy and you are a 2-parent family, and you got 1 kid, that's a hobby, bitch. Like I could put that kid on my back and do heart surgery, right? Like is that when you get the 2 kids, and this is where CK, I'm telling you, man, 2 healthy kids, 2 parents together working in the same direction, sweet spot.
Absolutely.
Like you feel like this. It's like, oh, we're super parents. I'm crushing life. I'm doing I'm like doing all of this. You got life under control. You go to 3. New game. You go from man to man, you go to zone defense, right? Yeah. Like it just all of a sudden you feel like you're a super parent at 2, you're surviving, or you're just like doing the best you can at 3. Maybe surviving. The 4, like the Hope dealer, that's my sister's number. My little sister, Italian girl, sucks to be an Italian girl. We got an older brother in that family. You don't ever get the credit you deserve. Poor baby. I love you, Anna. She's the best person I know. 4 kids. Oldest is 8. It's fucking the beautiful. It's a beautiful family. See a wonderful mom. Chaos though. It's wonderful. It's like beautiful chaos. I always say this is when you got 4 kids, you're like, the 4th kid, you're like, I hope you can read. Your first kid, you read to him every night. Your second kid, you're like doing a little bit better. 3rd kid, you're like, oh, I mean, like I'm trying. when you got 4 kids, bro, that 4th kid, you're like, I hope you make it.
See, I'm the youngest of 3. So like, but there's also this notion of the baby of the family. Like the baby gets all the good graces and shit, and the older kids are just kind of like left of I don't know how that's
first is the
in my experience.
It's the bookends. The first and the last are always the best. The 2 middles or the middles, they never get the credit they deserve.
Yeah.
But you're just surviving. And so, but back to the call when he's talking about to relating it to the Panthers. I have 17, 14, and 11. And I feel like, hey, I mean, maybe kids just don't care. My kids just don't care about me. Like they're like, what? They don't even know what I do. It feels like it's like I don't even know what my dad does for a living. And it's like, but the idea, they're like, oh, he does a podcast about the Panthers. They're not invested in the Carolina Panthers. They're not at all. And he said back-to-back winning seasons. That used to be the mantra, CK.
Oh yeah,
we used to say back-to-back, like. The relevance right now, we're in what 6, 7 straight losing seasons.
Yeah, it was definitely a focus of ours as Panthers fans that that was the measuring stick of back-to-back winning seasons being what showed us that we were a contending team. And now we're in this weird situation where it's just
a winning
failure
is important.
Yes, absolutely. A winning season will feel like the Super Bowl, I think, to us next year.
We're on life support though, as fans who are already invested.
Yeah.
But like to his kids though, or my kids, right? My kids are not crazy. I've been taking them to Panther stuff their whole life. They didn't care about it when they were young. They didn't get the momentum of winning though as they hit 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, right? And teenage years. Like as they're teenagers, not only do they not care about what their dad or what dad's the least important man in the world, but the Panthers have been irrelevant for their entire lives. And we used to be able to hang our hats on this as Panther fans. We used to say this is we'd never had back-to-back winnings. What we had, we won the division a couple of years, but not back-to-back winning seasons. We could, as Panther fans, hang our hat on. We have a short history, but we've had some real successful moments. We have 2 Super Bowl appearances, right? Like there's been some dips, but there have been injections of life. Right now, the dip has been so long that like these kids don't know anything about even excitement when it comes to this. It's like we're like the Browns in their life. And I don't think that just one good year all of a sudden changes it. The Panthers need a stretch of success. This podcast needs a fucking stretch.
Remember when Noah would call into the show, and he's been on the free for all fairly recently.
He's a grown man now.
It's like, we have good memories to hold on to, but we were getting stories from some of these younger fans of the team that it was like they get made fun of for being Panthers fans because of how bad they've been. I went out to eat with my mom yesterday, and I was telling a guy about this podcast that I do, and I asked him if he was a Panthers fan. And he's like, I'm trying, man. But they trade away all their best players, and it just seems like they take one step forward to take 2 steps back.
Yeah.
Listen, man, winning is the cure for everything. I'm telling you, man, if the Panthers can rally off 2 good seasons in a row, there's so many transplants.
I don't know if that's enough at this point.
Other places here in Charlotte that there are a lot of Fairweather fans. If you can actually get some winning here in Charlotte, you're going to convert a lot of people who left other places to be fans of the Panthers, and at the same time give some of these younger fans something to hold on to.
This is how sad this is, Cody. As you just said, if we get 2 winning seasons, it changes the thing. Like almost when I asked the Hope Dealer, I want to ask like, what would it take for you to all of a sudden care about what your dad does, like your dad's team? I don't even know if 2 win. Like, what if we just had, what is that, 9 wins?
Oh,
I'm like, hey guys, what if we had 2 9-win seasons in a row? And I'm like, kids, this is why I do it. I don't know. I mean, it feels like we not only need that, we need an injection of real crazy. We need 2 winning seasons, a deep playoff run. It's so bad, CK. I don't even think 2 winning seasons all of a sudden makes kids be like, I love my dad and his team.
No, I mean, it's two. It depends
We
on
need
the quality
2
of those
winning
winning
seasons,
seasons, to be fair.
a deep playoff run. We
So
need
what I'm-
like a NFC championship and 3 winning seasons. That's what
I need. Is,
No, I don't think it's that much.
So
Get the
this
kids
year,
Yeah.
this number one. I think we need excitement of any sort. We need a Cam Newton character that's willing to come in and rejuvenate that fan base. I really don't know what else we could do beyond that. But I think that we need a so give you some my hopes. My son's not interested in football right now at all. Like he's only interested in soccer and Ronaldo and all that stuff, right? And he's never played soccer or anything. I don't watch soccer.
Backflips out his ass too,
right,
by the way.
Right. Yeah, dude's ridiculous. But I think that what I'm looking forward to, and I really hope happens this year, I'm taking him to at least one Panthers game this year. Okay. And I want that to be a win to where he walks out and he just sees Panthers fans excited. I go back to when in 2015, I went to the Monday night game against the Colts. And that game, while we blew a pretty comeback. The comeback. We blew a pretty big lead, to be fair. But they came back, we went into overtime, and we ended up winning that game. And walking out of that stadium, the excitement, and I think we were 7-0, if I'm not mistaken. And the entire time out, all you hear is people chanting 7-0, 7-0, 7-0. And like, I just want that was such an incredible experience to be a part of that. And I just want my son to experience that so that he can feel that level of excitement, because so far all he gets is people at school talking about how the Panthers suck.
Yeah, or even worse than that, the CK is that they're inconsequential and people don't even talk about them at all. Like they don't even have the time, the energy, like, oh, the Panthers exist.
Yeah, that's what's been the worst. It's like we're not even the worst team year after year. We're like in that perpetual spot of drafting between 6 and 9 every year.
Inconsequential. And we really blew a great opportunity. And this call weirdly hit. Not weirdly hit is it's one of the things that I've always tried to think about. We're a young team, right? We haven't been around for 30 years. And they had 2 Super Bowl appearances, been moments of success. We haven't had sustained success. We were hitting the sweet spot. We were hitting the sweet spot of this, is that all of a sudden you have the Cam Newton player, which does have that star power, the first superstar that people that aren't football fans know who that person is. They've heard his name. Yeah. Then you get the Super Bowl appearance, but you were getting second generation fans. You were getting the parents who are fans, and then they have children and they're coming up. And we had an opportunity to go get momentum. How about this? Is the second generation, third generation of Panther fans, they're like, Dad, why the hell are you cheering for this team? It's sad. It's the saddest thing. It's sad, and we need a turnaround. It shows you
Joey
how
says,
bad.
Thank God for my blindness, because I have a thick skin. Therefore, I don't give a sweet and sour shit when people talk crap about me for being a Panther fan.
Dude, there's a lot of being a Panther fan's tough. Try being blind.
Yeah, dude. Dude, that's a real fan, man. That's maybe it's better being blind watching the Panthers than actually seeing what they've done the past few years.
Last year, you wanted to be blind in those first 10 games. The number's 252-228-5098. Let's go back to the Hope Dealer.
Hey, it's the Hope Dealer, second call real quick, y'all. Hey, I won't be long, but there's something I have to do, man. I thought about this last week. G-Baby, you know I got love for you, man. I got nothing but love for you. You're an OG, and I respect you. But man, why you be hating on Chuba Hubbard? That's what you do, man.
He's so ridiculous.
I was thinking about this last week. Like, G baby, like, what would help Bryce Young out more this year than a strong running game from Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle?
Imagine right against your boy.
We all know, man, that franchise quarterbacks, a lot of them become franchise quarterbacks because they got a run game that takes some of the pressure off. I'm just saying, man, just think about it objectively. You know, the better that Chuba Hubbard does, you know, and Rico Dowdle does in that run game, man, that's actually going to open up opportunities for Bryce, man. So, you know, I just wanted to encourage you, man. Like, how about encouraging Chuba, man? Don't be hating on Chuba, man. You know, we love you, though, G baby. You know, this the whole deal. You know we love you, man. You know that. And you're an OG, and I respect you. No doubt, man. But, hey, man, we got to show Chuba some love, man. He deserves it, man. But anyway, it's the Hope Dealer, man. Love y'all. I'm out for real, for real. All right. Bye.
Shout out Hope Dealer. Yeah, dude, G-Baby just on some wild shit. He wants to get mad at us, or no, not even us, at me for not slobbering all over Bryce and Jonathan Brooks, who's not even going to play this year, and then wants to disrespect one of the best offensive players on the team right now, bar none. It's insane, dude. G-Baby's on some other shit, but what don't we know?
What's funny about this is G-Baby is the black Cody Lack. Y'all die on some hills. You just dig in. That's all y'all do is you just dig the fuck in.
Am I that unreasonable though?
You can be.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
how dare you?
I actually love it. Like, I respect the dot we had, which we have to pay an artist an incredible amount. I would love if anybody, maybe we can do it with AI to get a t-shirt. My dream t-shirt is Die on That Hill or Die on This Hill. And it's CK, myself, and Greg all riding on the back of Cody Lack's wheelchair. Like, we're like a zoom in like a
we can do a badass
on the top of the hill. Yeah, you guys die on that hill. You don't concede. And there's some admirability that will do. The next call here, thank you for that. And this is the last call of the night right here.
Yo, what's going on, my C3 family? D, time for North
Money, what's up?
Shout out to the great Tony Dunn, the homie Cody Lack. CK coach this one, Mr. Shut the Hell Up, Panther Pickle. My brothers from another mother, Cole and Easville Skill. So I saw the title of the YouTube was talking about Sauce the Boss and JC on a bargain deal, and that just makes me think about the brilliance of Dan Morgan and David Tepper bringing in Megamind, Brant Tillis, the Cap God. They knew of timing. They had the foresight to know that the longer they waited on JC or waited to pay JC, that it was going to be a higher dollar amount to pay. So just for them being in tap with the market, being in tune with this team, and getting a deal out there that now, in hindsight, with other corners that have been signed that's in his tier and in his grade or whatever, making so much more, they did such a brilliant job. Which takes us to the free agents that they did bring in to the Carolina Panthers to try to restructure that defensive line and bolster the defense and getting a run, stop, and safety. If you look at any of those deals, they're fair market value deals, and they have easy opt-outs that doesn't hurt the salary cap or the team. So I'm just tremendously happy and overwhelmed that we have a front office that shows competency and has the intentionality to make the moves that will make the Carolina Panthers a better product. I love every single one of y'all. If you ain't with us now, you ain't welcome to the parade. Even though Tony said they can sit in the back, I said what I said. All due respect to Tony Dunn.
Keep pounding, brother. Dude, I'm more optimistic about the Panthers front office than I maybe ever have been. And it's because of Dan Morgan. I mean, it's because of, there have been multiple times this season where he never jumped and gave up too much for one player. He didn't sacrifice all the rest of the needs of this defense just to sign a Milton Williams. You know, he was able to stay right where he needed to be, grab Tetero and McMillan, and then was able to grab two really incredible pass rushers in the second and third round, respectively, that a lot of people had ranked higher than what they were drafted, frankly. So Dan Morgan is earning my trust in the best way possible.
Right.
He has me more excited for the front office than I have been in a very long time.
I think that he's not. I really can't say that I felt like he has failed at any point. I know there are people who are going to say that he made, some poor decisions with, drafting a guy like Jonathan Brooks or what have you. And I just, or even the trade with Brian Burns, people thinking that he got fleeced. I think from day one, he has done nothing but improve the culture of this team. And by the way, for those who think I'm just what somebody might call a gooner nowadays when it comes to Dan Morgan, I was one that made the argument that we should not have gone with him because I felt like he was a part of a regime that had failed. And so for me to give him this type of grace is because I truly believe the things I'm saying, not because I'm just Dan Morgan stan by any stretch of the imagination for those who may come to that conclusion. But man, I'm just happy, man. It's just exciting to have a guy in the front office that it feels like team players are excited to play for even.
You're muted, Tony.
CK was, he said, rip the Band-Aid off. And when we got the hire of Dan Morgan, I was happy. I didn't know. I thought your point was very valid, CK. Is that
sure?
I didn't disagree with it. I did like this when we kept Dan Morgan is he had the the window of why they drafted Bryce. Right, you bring in a new GM, and the Bryce pick, the trade, all of that is a failure of the past, and you're trying to make your new, right? And I thought I really respected your point, though, CK. Is like, hey, man, look, Frank Reich, this is just new.
Sure.
I just have been happy with this. I've been happy with the legacy. Like we have that legacy connection as fans to Dan Morgan. I did think there was some wisdom on this. I think that we can be knee jerk as fans. They used to make fun of podcasters like us and fans for being too reactionary, too emotional.
No.
But I really contend this is that the NFL GMs, the coach, the owners, they're just as bad, it turns out. And like they can go up, change directions. I saw a story, Cody, and I don't know what this is like. It just, again, I'm like, I refuse to click on half of this shit. That Shedeur Sanders is going to be in the CFL.
What?
Yes. I swear this was it's like
was that just someone's opinion?
No,
it had to have been.
I don't know. I mean, who knows? It could be a
last I saw he was fourth on their depth chart.
Right. Like it was like the Browns might cut him, and Shedeur Sanders is gonna be playing with PJ.
Well, also so many of these Twitter pages, like you said, they're just
not Twitter
put shit out there. Where were you seeing it?
Well, when I say like at first it wasn't Twitter, it was like it could have been Google News, it could be a blog, it could be at this point. I said earlier, it could fucking be USA Today at this point. I was watching who's the guy, the British dude that does the jokes on HBO. He's a smart comedian. He used to do
Ricky Gervais.
No. God, what is this? He's
the dude he has a John Oliver.
Yeah, John Oliver. And it talking about AI.
I used to like him. I can't stand him anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of both, right? Like I'm kind of
Yeah.
both on him. Like I like him, but then it might be agenda like laid in at some points. But at least it's kind of smart, kind of thoughtful. I'm not gonna only take what he says as gospel. But he was talking about like they call it AI. God, what is it? It's like AI slop. Right. And that is it was awesome. They had this great video. It's like it was a cat. It was a story of a cat who was a single father. And this AI, and it was just like it was to a song, and it was just it showed like the cat, and he had a son, and then he raised this son. And it's like this sad, awesome, terrible story. It's like ridiculous. The point is that it's like AI beauty in that like somebody sat down and told AI to do this, and it's like the dumbest, funniest shit,
laziest thing. Yeah,
but yeah, so it looks good. But then what the point of the whole show is this is actually kind of funny. You know, it's a narrative on single parent, but an idiot did this. And there's so many idiots doing AI shit, like to the point of like they're saying this lady, and I don't even know these people that are political or something. It was like she got in a fight with a judge, and the judge calls her out for wearing a cross, but it's all made up. It's all AI. And like none of it's actually true. And they referenced a guy who's like a CEO for say Gemini or whatever, right? Like some high-end AI institute company, whatever the fuck you call them. And they said all spam is AI. Not all AI is spam, but all spam is AI. And like you're just inundated with fake shit. They put up a picture, and it got like 32 million likes. It's called the bed fan. Have you seen it? I know everybody's seen it.
I have
like a headboard that's like a fucking, it looks like you're on the bayou.
Yeah.
Right. And so what it's like, we're at this kind of junction point of where the internet now is fraudulent completely. And so I don't know, Cody, where I saw that story about Shedeur Sanders. I didn't even read it. I won't gonna read. Actually, I think I did click it. I ain't gonna lie. But I was like, bullshit. There's no way that he's already negotiating a contract with a CFL team. And then they were trying to talk about in the story, like, it's like his dad's a problem. His dad's a problem. I'm sorry. Is that I don't give a fuck how big of a issue Dion is. I love Dion. I fuck with Dion. And I don't care if you think that Shedeur wasn't a first round, like he should have been like second, like his fall. If you say his fall was necessary because of his talent, I'm fine with that. But if fucking Jonathan Mingo was still in the league and Shedeur Sanders is playing in the CFL, I got a fucking problem. A big problem. And I don't get it. I don't understand it.
I bet you anything that doesn't happen. I think he'll probably be the backup or the starter at some point.
I agree.
This year.
I think he could start. Who are their quarterbacks?
So Deshaun's not going to play. Joe Flacco.
No.
Joe Flacco is the odds-on favorite because of what he was able to do a few years ago. But again, they don't have Amari Cooper. They don't have a few players, and now it looks like their second-round running back is going to miss 4 to 6 games if he gets suspended. But then it's Kenny Pickett, who is some Browns fans. I don't want to say fans, but I've seen some people in the media.
Okay with starting Kenny Pickett over Shedeur. Fuck
but
that.
then, hold on, then there's Dylan Gabriel, who the Browns drafted ahead of Shedeur Sanders. He was the lefty quarterback from Oregon.
I'm a lefty, but the lefty quarterbacks don't work. I think I won't say collusion, but like I don't know what the point of the universe is trying to prove against Shedeur Sanders. And I'm a Cam Newton fan, so you know what? I'm a Shedeur Sanders fan. If that motherfucker if whoever that lefty guy starts ahead of him and Kenny Pickett starts ahead of, fuck that. I will take Joe Flacco for 8 games. I think that's reasonable. You put old Joe in, which I don't like. He can't throw it beyond 30 yards. Give Shador a chance. Like, what the hell? What kind of world are we living in? Cats.
I don't know, man. But the Cleveland Browns are where quarterbacks go to die. Do you know what I mean? Like
or Carolina.
I don't know. We've had some, between Cam and Jake Delhomme, we've had some quarterbacks that have done some good shit. But the Browns are notorious for, messing up every quarterback situation that they've ever had. So, yeah, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me.
The irony of all of this is I was on Pirate Radio on Friday hanging out with my boy CW, he wears every time he comes on, he's a teacher, right? With like a public school teacher, but he only comes on in the summer, right? He's over prepared. Like he always has like so many stats, he plays in like 40 fantasy football leagues. It's insane. But he wears an NFL shield. They call him the Shield. He loves football so much that he wears a NFL t-shirt first. But he's a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. All right. And he's so smart. Like he knows more about
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, he's like the smartest football fan I've ever met in my life. Right. But the idea we're talking about Baker, and he's a Baker bottom now. I love that. I didn't tell him that. I thought he was like, he's too sophisticated.
You should have.
I should have really ruined his world and be like, cuck. But the idea is like he was talking about Baker and his trajectory, like Browns, right? And he was like, they didn't see, like he had this moment. And I was thinking about Baker in the history and the legacy of the Browns. Right? Like we have that. Do you guys remember that picture that the guy walks to the stadium, the Browns fan, and he has like 10 quarterback names, Tim Couch.
Yeah, they add to the list every year.
Yeah. Like Baker was their success story and their failure story. Isn't that, it's kind of odd. Like it's like he got them to a point where you put him with the guy, what's the Miles Garrett. Right. Like, I mean, all of a sudden the Browns weren't just a shit stain on the NFL, but somehow now they're like, you know what? It's kind of like somebody who's like, they've been in failed marriages. Yeah. They've been in like this. And it's like, I'm going to leave this woman who loves me. And I'm going to marry this girl who just cheats on me. Like, how did they get?
And then you watch them go and thrive somewhere else. Yeah,
they were in the worst quarterback hell right now. That Shador Sanders.
Yeah, well, and then they're in the running. They're already in the running for a lot of the, first picks for next year. But people are already saying Arch Manning to the Browns, which I don't think that Arch Manning is coming out next year.
Shador bringing them to 9 wins. All right, Cody, let's round it out.
Yeah, so this was from, I forget his name. He works for NFL Spin, and he is basically predicting that the Carolina Panthers are, going to be 5-12 this year.
Ooh.
He says, dead cats don't bounce very far. We cannot confirm this. We have not conducted experiments. There is no dead cat DVOA, but it
Why
makes
this up here. He says this. We cannot confirm this. This guy didn't even believe.
He said there's no dead cat DVOA.
Fucking say your chest, homie.
He says that's what he says. Toss a dead cat from a tall building, watch it hit the sidewalk, and the result will be more splat than boing. That's what the statistics are trying to tell you when they use the dead cat bounce metaphor. So he lists all his stats up here. He writes a bunch of other bullshit. But this is, according to him, these are the postseason odds, the odds to reach the Super Bowl, and the odds to win the Super Bowl. He has us below the Jets, the Saints, the Browns, the Titans. He's expecting us to be another dog shit team this year. However, a bit of a bright side is last year he said this about the Washington Commanders, that they had almost no chances to make the playoffs or reach a Super Bowl, and then look at what they were able to do. So a lot of people,
Jaden Daniels, who fucking crushed it. So
a lot of people think that he reversed
them at 16% making the playoffs. But if you go back one.
Yep.
9.5. CK is all right. So actually, let's look at the Jets. This really is like if we were going to look at even New Orleans.
They think we're the same team as the Jets.
The idea that the Jets have a better chance or less of a chance than making, which I don't know, who is the quarterback of the Jets?
This year it'll be Justin Fields.
But we don't even know who the quarterback. It's my bastard son's kid for New Orleans. The idea that the Browns.
No, Tyler Shuck for New Orleans, the guy that they drafted in the second round.
All right.
I don't even know him.
This guy's the biggest idiot, CK. He might, you know what? I would say, fuck this dude, because I don't care about his whatever statistics he puts up. Right away, he has the idea that Cleveland can make it to the playoffs. We're just talking about them cutting. They don't even, Joe Flacco beating Cincinnati, the Ravens. They can't win their division, right? You think that the Browns are winning their division over the Ravens? No. The Bengals with no defense still? No. There is no way that Cleveland and New Orleans should be ahead of either the Jets or Carolina, just based on their division opportunity, CK.
Yeah. I mean, I think that right now, you couldn't put much of you couldn't tell me why you think Atlanta is higher. You really couldn't, because I mean they had are they on the list? Equally, yeah, their average right at the top. It says average one's 8.4, right?
I don't even see it.
Yeah, they're the top one. They're the very top of the list.
That's away where we should be like this list. I told you, if you want to get people to talk about you make a list. You either leave somebody out or you make something ridiculous.
Tell me what is the redeeming quality of the Saints right now?
How does New England make the playoffs?
Everybody's predicting them to be good too. With
they got Drake May
in the second year.
Okay, the Jets suck.
They had a lot of free agent additions. Also, but when it comes to Atlanta, Kirk Cousins got hurt midway through the season last year, but before that, they were putting up points. So I think people are judging that roster based on Michael Penix taking a jump in his second year. So,
okay, let me ask you guys this question: is to make the playoffs, the easiest way to make the playoffs is to win your division, right? It's almost harder to make a wild card, and sometimes than it is to win your division, right? Like you got to have So is Atlanta winning the South? Yes or no?
No.
Is Las Vegas winning their division? You got the Chargers. You've got I
think their argument there is only going to be wild card. There's no way there is a group of people that believe that they're going to dethrone the Chiefs.
But you're trying to tell me that there's not a team in the AFC where it comes to the Bills, the Dolphins. Las Vegas was terrible. They're not making no, they're not winning their division. I don't think they're making the wild card. Is New England winning the division? What they got? The Jets, they got the Dolphins, they've got who else? There's one other team in that division.
The Jets, the Dolphins, the Bills, and
the Bills. All right, so they're not winning their division, right? The Bills are winning that division. So New England's not winning the wild card over all these other teams. So no. Chicago, are they winning their division? You got Minnesota, you got Detroit, Green Bay. They're not winning their division. Maybe. It would be a fucking long shot. Green Bay is winning that division, in my opinion. No, get them off the list. Minnesota, okay, good. Seattle, I'll take that. Chargers should be the top of this list.
Chargers, yeah, they have a good.
They're
They have a
going
good rushing attack.
or potentially make. They're a lock. Dallas. Okay, I'll take Dallas, right? I mean, I don't know about them enough, but they're going to be competitive among the Giants, the Commanders, right? Pittsburgh, yes. This guy's a fucking idiot. Tennessee, you're trying to tell me, I guess Tennessee, what are you going to say? The AFC South, nobody wins, but everybody wins. This is this might be the most ridiculous list, and he won. Whoever wrote this, and I'm glad you didn't remember his name. We will not give him credit because whoever the fuck this person is got us to talk about this stupid fucking list. It's the worst list in the history of the world.
Yeah, Chicago over Minnesota. That's pretty fucking stupid.
The idea that Atlanta has a better odds to make the playoffs than the Chargers.
Do you think we can sweep the Saints and the Falcons this year?
I don't even care if we split. Do you really think Chicago? Who's the most ridiculous name on this list? I think it's Atlanta.
Probably the Raiders.
Yeah,
like are they just overvaluing them because they have Pete Carroll and they just drafted Ashton Genty in the first round, so they're going to run the ball.
Thrones, Andy Reid. That's going to be the headline.
What were his rankings last year? Dude, he had Jacksonville as one of the better teams. He had Tennessee up there.
He loves some
Tennessee. Dude, this dude's terrible, man.
Atlanta. Oh, Carolina.
Yeah, last year he had us being decent.
The Chargers, who made the playoffs? Think about this.
Yeah.
Look, who made the playoffs last year? Tampa, Minnesota, the Chargers, Denver.
Yeah, Denver.
Washington. Oh, look at that. Washington made a fun. What did they make the Super Bowl last year?
No. Last year was the Chiefs and the Eagles.
But they made the NFC Championship, least possible.
Was it the championship? I don't know, but dude, they had Washington. He had Washington at the bottom of his list.
Yeah, and they made
that should tell you everything that you need to know.
Right, what we got? Last bit of info.
So this is another list where the Panthers are being devalued by Bill Barnwell, who has, out of 32 teams, he ranks our offense in terms of our weapons as 31st.
Why does he say that?
32 teams. He says, while the Panthers are certainly trying to add receivers, this year it's number 8 pick Ted McMillan, who hopes to fill the same role Mike Evans did for Coach Canales when he was coordinating the 2023 Bucs offense. A thriving McMillan will allow Carolina's wideouts to drop one spot in the rotation, which would suit many of them. Looking back at the Panthers 2024 class, I find myself more intrigued by the undrafted free agent Jalen Coker than second-round picking Xavier Legette, as he averaged a respectable 1.9 yards per route to Legette's 1.3 outside of veteran Adam Thielen, who continues to produce at age 34. There's a lot of projection here. Now, that last sentence isn't necessarily false because you are doing a lot of projecting, but like
there's
second to last, that's pretty stupid.
This is I don't know if you want to be smart, you want to make the podcast. I'm starting to think everybody's writing this shit to make the C3 Panthers podcast. He wrote this to say Jalen Coker is going to be a bigger impact than XL. Fuck
That's
you.
what G Baby thinks.
Whatever. Get the fuck out of here. I do think, look, if Jonathan Brooks would have hit, bro, God, Lord have mercy. Sad. This is going to go down as one of the saddest stories in Panther history, in my opinion. And maybe NFL, like, if Jonathan Brooks could have been a fucking, and I hope he is, I don't know how it can, maybe is, I don't want to write somebody off. But if that motherfucker would have come out, we saw him look like a player, be a player. If we were walking into this year saying we got Chuba, Jonathan Brooks is going to supplant Chuba. We got Tet. Do you know how all our you know what's would be as Viagra hard? I mean, like insane. The Jonathan Brooks part is wild. I wish.
But you know why I'm not bitching about any of this, Tony? It's what I said like a week or two ago. I don't like it when everyone's high on us.
Yeah,
like when people are high on us when we haven't proved or done anything. Like I almost like this shit better because this is the fuel. Like my coach Dabo Sweeney says, this is the bulletin board material that you put up in front of the entire team, and they said they think y'all ain't shit. This is who you're proving wrong.
About our team, Cody, like it's like this.
Where he says that the offense runs through Chuba Hubbard, and that the rest of our wide receivers and tight ends, that you're just projecting them because you don't have a ton of evidence of them being great. Which, by the way, I have no problem with that. That's not untrue. Right.
Over XL is like we looked at the roster, we looked at a couple of stats. We don't know anything about this team, and we just said, you know what? I don't want to pick the. It's like when you go to a restaurant and you're like, or I don't even. That's not even a good example, but like he didn't want to just say, oh, Tet first round pick, XL going to make a second. Like that's too cookie cutter. So he's like Jalen Coker supplanting XL. Like it's so out of the, I don't know. And the Jonathan Brooks, gosh, if he could have hit, and I want to show you this, Cody. I want to bring this up because we get so excited about these stupid videos, right? Of everybody like, oh, workout king, right? And XL, who I'm a giant fan of, and I think people shit on him too much. I think he's going to be a good I mean, I think he has an opportunity. I think this is stupid because they said Jalen Coker over XL. That's what I think. I think that is somebody looked at a piece of paper. They looked at, oh, XL first round draft pick. People talk about some drops. I think XL had a really impactful rookie year. Yes, could it have been more? Were there other rookies that maybe made it look less? But we love these stupid videos of how hard they work, right? And we watched all those videos of XL, right? We get up like, oh, XL working. This is what's his name? Keenan Coleman from the Bills.
Keon Coleman. People are roasting him for looking not so.
You try to tell me that XL don't look better than this motherfucker.
Hey, mute the song. Oh, yeah.
Song. Hold on.
Yeah, just mute the volume.
Look at this. Try to tell me that video of XL working out. XL, what? Who's he rocking with? Who's on a video cover? Who's that girl he's with?
Oh, Glorilla.
Yeah. XL having the lifetime of his like, this is look the Bills guy. What is he doing?
But that was the knock on him coming out.
He's trying to
he's slow. He's not fast.
I wouldn't even say he's fast, but look at his footwork. Like it's like this would be like, oh, hey,
he seems uncoordinated.
If we put that XL, can you find the XL video real quick before we close the show out of him doing the same thing? Look at how sharp the footwork is. I don't know what I would look at this. Is Coleman trying, as if I'm a DB, is he trying to Napoleon Dynamite me here? Like, this is what I do to people like my kids. I'll be like, you can't see me. What is going on? Is this good footwork? I want to ask a wide receiver coach, is this actually, or is he just shaking? I don't know what it does not look great to me. And maybe I'm eyeball testing. All right. So we got
Can you see this?
Yeah. Yeah. So we saw Coleman do that drill, who is celebrated, right? From last year. Then we got, hold on. We got to get the footwork part because he just does 1-2 plant, 1-2 plant, right? 1-2 plant. Or at least that's how I see it. If like my trainer said,
"Oh, one-handed,
we're gonna do this drill." Let's see the beginning here. All right, this is what we're looking at. This right here. No, that's not him. This is not the video actually that we saw. Okay. Anyway,
this is not the.
That's not the right video.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah. All right. Look at that. Pop, pop, pop. 1, 2, 3. Pop.
Yeah, my man's explosive.
The other guy just was like, he's like, I'm just gonna rub my. It's like me dancing. I'm like gonna go. It's like somebody that can actually dance. We go to a club.
That's why it was
somebody
pissing.
that can actually dance, and then me getting out there and be like, I try now. Like,
dude, that's why it was pissing me off when people were disrespecting Xavier Leggett after one season and making a big deal out of a couple dumb drops. Like, that dude still has a ton of potential and talent that we haven't even begun to tap into yet. So, dude, shout out to XL. We're going to be a lot better this year.
All right. Is there anything to talk about?
Yeah, we wasted too much time talking about bullshit. Do we expect to add any more defensive players to the team before the start of the season? You have Justin Simmons still out there, Asante Samuel. There are some people even saying, go and get Stephon Gilmore, who's not retired, who is still looking for a team.
My answer is,
do the Panthers make any additions?
I'm happy with our roster. I don't think it's going to get us a Super Bowl.
Right.
I think you add some of these names, CK. Like you go, what was the last one? What was the last one you said, Cody? Samuel.
Gilmore.
Oh, no, Gilmore, right. Or Asante Samuel Jr. That's what I realized. We were talking about Junior a couple of weeks. I almost feel like that adds a name that causes a problem for your vision. And that you come out and you bring in a free agent that has name veteranship. I think that, look, nobody thinks that the Carolina Panthers defense, or at least I don't, is going to be top 10 like this or that. But I want it to have a identity direction in this. You add some of these names and all of a sudden you create a competition that is not a long-term competition. It's a moment. Gilmore, right? You got to put Gilmore out there over Charles Smith Wade or something like that, or whoever. We want Horn, Jackson, Morig, Rambo. That's my start, right? And like anybody else needs to be not a backup, but somebody could close to be of their caliber, hopefully. Depth. I don't want a name that overshadows by nature.
I don't know, man. Like, I would like to sign.
That's why we got
Asante Samuel. We had this conversation last week. I would like to sign Asante Samuel.
Who are you going to start him over? You're going to start him over
Charles Smith Wade.
Okay. What? And that's
the nickel corner position.
Nickel corner. So you're going to put Jackson, Horn, Rambo, Morig. So what? We get the 4 starting, right? You're going to put the 4 in the front. Do you not think that okay, I will take that name. I'll be okay with that one.
Who, Samuel?
Yeah, I mean, like is like a nickel corner.
A lot of people still want Justin Simmons.
Safety?
Yeah.
Free safety or strong?
Yeah, because we're pretty much depending on either Lathan Ransom, a rookie, to be able to turn it up and do something this year, or Damani Richardson, who doesn't inspire a ton of confidence.
Oh, no, y'all were all hype on him last year. Okay, I'll take those 2 names are fine. I just don't want a name that overpowers by name, right? Like you bring in, I think that's why we let Clowney go.
I would say.
I mean, yeah, naturally you have to do everything you can to create competition. I've been saying it. I like some of the moves that we've made. I just don't feel as though we're as improved as people are expecting us to be on defense. We're
not one piece away, right, ZK?
Right. We were a lot of pieces away, and there's the argument Brown is coming back. I agree. I think we're going to be improved, but I don't know that the moves that we made are enough to make me feel like we're moving to the top half of the league as far as quality of defense. And that's going to put a lot of pressure still on our offense to be able to perform at a high level with really, little to no ability for them to make a mistake and be saved from those mistakes. You don't have the likes of a Shaq Thompson back there who's leading the defense. You don't have, Luvu anymore. You have a lot of pieces that were core pieces, leadership pieces that aren't there.
But thank God they're gone, CK, because they may have been leadership positions or pieces, but we fucking were terrible.
Sure, but I can't tell you that I felt like it was Luvu or Shaq Thompson in general that was the reason. Shaq Thompson's biggest fault over the past couple of years has ultimately been his lack of availability. That's really what was, I think, his downfall. Within
and he's getting older. He's getting older, right?
Sure, but he wasn't a liability. He wasn't like. What I mean by that is he wasn't a reason the team. We weren't looking at Shaq Thompson as the reason why we were considered one of the worst defenses in the history of the NFL. Right.
The question though goes back to adding people. Like, who do you add? When do you add them? And I'm okay with these names 1-year deals. I just don't want a guy that we bring in that you feel like has to start over a player. Like, imagine you bring in a guy and you're like, all of a sudden we have to play him today over Rambo, because they are on day one better. They're not, their floor is higher than Rambo's floor at that moment. I don't want a guy. I think this is why we let go of Clowney, is that Clowney, when you go to put pencil in the lineup, he's the best player at that moment. He is the best player. He's better than Prince. He's better than Scourton. He's better than this. I want to bring in guys that are short-term deals and depth players.
Well, that's what Gilmore would be. I mean, the dude's my age, just 34, 35. So it would
Gilmore
just be
going to be like
year,
this. We're going to be putting him. We're going to try to start him over Mike Jackson. That's what you're going to be doing. If you bring in Stephon Gilmore,
but they paid Mike Jackson though.
But
to me, Chow Smith-Wade or Damani Richardson are the odd men out in this situation.
Stephon Gilmore is a nickel corner. I never in my life viewed him as that. I viewed him as
maybe the
top corner in the league.
Maybe they moved Mike Jackson.
That's so sad.
I don't know.
I think it's a short. I would bring in depth and short-term players. Stephon Gilmore is not the name on that list I want.
Yeah, me neither. I would much prefer Justin Simmons.
All right, let's hit Alvin Kamara. Are you mad about this?
Listen. I talked about this on the free-for-all, right? Alvin
Kamara. Not mad at all about this.
No, Alvin Kamara pretty much said the truth out loud. Let's take a listen.
And pay attention to the game rules. We can't hear it. We can't hear it. No audio. I can't hear it.
You can't hear it at all?
I couldn't. Could the chat? Make sure hit the
hold on.
button.
Let me try it again. Hang on.
Hit the speaker button when you play the video. The rules are, let's see. This is about as cool as our giveaway.
Well, it won't. I'm using a different.
Hold on, I'll pull it up. I can find it. Alvin Kamara. Hold on.
Okay, it's on Carolina Blitz. Just scroll down. I'm using a different. I'm using two browsers tonight.
All right, I'm searching on X. Let's see if we can find it right on the. Nope. You said it's on Carolina Blitz.
Hold on, I think I can pull it up.
Top-notch production. Carolina Blitz.
I'll probably pull it up before you do.
All right.
Yep.
Race.
All right, I got it.
Up. Okay. I got it here. You ready? I'm doing it. I beat
No,
you.
you're not. No, you're not.
Oh gosh, I got beat by.
All right. Yeah, the energy inside the stadium without knowing what comes next. Okay, how about Carolina Panthers Stadium?
Hold on 1 second before we play it completely. Is I think he has 5 spots, right? Like his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to get 5 teams, and he has to put, like, if you put 1 and 2, you can't use 2 again.
Right.
Right. Like, I think this is how the game works, because then at the end he's like, "Fuck this." All right, let's go with it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna name 5 NFL stadiums. I want you to rank how. All right. Yeah, the energy inside the stadium without knowing what comes next. Okay, how about Carolina Panthers Stadium?
Oh shit! Fuck 0.
0.
That's it. If I had to redo it, Carolina would be last for sure.
Carolina would be last.
Yeah, then it'll probably be what I do. Tampa would probably be second. Detroit third. What was the other 2?
Dallas Cowboys and Chiefs.
Oh, Chiefs 1, Dallas 4.
That's not a bad list.
Yeah.
See, this isn't the full video, dude.
I'm gonna name 5
No, but do we
The
really
full
need the full
video,
video?
they give him a team. You know what? We gotta find it. But he gives him and so he has 5 spots, right? And so he goes, like, he puts Dallas at 4, right? Like, because he can't put a team at 1 right away. If he puts that team at 1, then he can't use 1 again, right? So he put a team at 3. He put the Bucks this. He was like trying to take back answers, not take back. That's the revised version of it, but he ain't wrong.
No, and I said this on the free for all too. Like, the Panthers have been on such a bad downturn. One of the biggest issues that we've dealt with in the past few years is opposing fans from other teams basically filling up our stadium. You know, they're having a home game even though they're on the road. Nothing that you said was, off base. However, it doesn't have to stay that way, man. This sort of ties back to our conversation earlier. If we can get some good wins and get a couple good seasons under our belt, Tony, we have personally seen this stadium when it was rocking. You were there in 2015 when the Panthers beat the Cardinals. You saw what this stadium was capable of being, capable of doing. He is not wrong right now, and it hurts more because he's a Saints fan talking shit about us. So it hurts a little bit more, but he's not ultimately wrong.
Here's the full video, which then this I think makes a little bit more sense.
Stadiums. I want you to rank how. All right. Yeah, the energy inside the stadium without knowing what comes next. First one, Dallas Cowboys Stadium.
Dallas. So 1 to 5.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go 3.
That one's in the 3.
Use 3 now again.
How about Tampa Bay Buccaneers Stadium?
Tampa 5.
Tampa's in the 5.
Yeah, I'll do 5 because I don't know what's next.
Okay. How about Carolina Panthers Stadium?
Oh shit. Fuck 0.
0.
That's it 4.
Okay.
I already put. Yeah. All right. 4.
See, so
how about Ford Field, Detroit Lions?
Ford Field. Dang. What I did, I already did 3. I did 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
2.
All right. And the last one, Kansas City Chiefs Stadium.
I guess that's 1.
That's your 1?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Go here. How about this?
Carolina would be last.
Oh, he says if
For sure.
Carolina would be last.
Yeah. Then it'll probably be what I do. Tampa would probably be second. Detroit third. What was the other 2?
Dallas Cowboys and Chiefs.
So he's saying this: if he could rank it, like in retrospect, it would be Kansas, Tampa, which I think that he needs to keep Detroit, but maybe I'm wrong. Kansas, Tampa, Detroit, and
Chiefs 1, Dallas 4.
That's not a bad list.
4. How about that? Is 4 for Dallas?
I mean, I don't know. I don't personally give a fuck about any of his other
I think
rankings.
he overinflated the Bucks. I think
because they don't even have a great home field advantage even when they're winning.
But the dome of the Detroit, the excitement. I'm surprised that he put Tampa that high. I'm not upset that he put us that low.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing to be upset about. I mean, it's you could use it as fuel for the fire to hate, Alvin Kamara. But I think more than anything, I think it should be just a call to action to Panthers fans that we aren't we don't have a home field advantage, at this stage in our current situation.
I think the problem is that Tampa fans are more rabid than Panther fans. And yes, they've had a Super Bowl. They've had 2 Super Bowl wins, but you live in Florida. You have good weather. You got all this. Not intimidating. But look, the Panthers should not be ahead of any of those teams on the list as stadium presence, excitement, all of that. All right.
I don't want it to be true, but it is.
It is. Yeah.
All right.
Did you happen to see a video posted by the Panthers on Friday?
Is this about the Superman shit, Cody? Yeah. CK is so I had a friend that told me that they went to, he's a younger kid. He's like at least 15 years younger than me. And he said they stood, there was a standing ovation for the Superman video. He's like, I've never been to a movie. Have you guys been to a movie that had a standing ovation?
Yes, but Tony, are you thinking about the same thing I'm thinking about?
I don't know. The Superman
from the Panthers?
No, well, yes, but like the actual Superman movie.
I know. Yeah, it was good. It wasn't standing ovation.
Have you been to a movie though where somebody had Endgame? People
Avengers
stood up
Endgame. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a movie that I've been to. And he was like, he was just fucking shook that people stood up and clapped. That's what his thing was. It is
weird.
But then there was an old hat there. He's like, this actually used to happen.
Yeah.
And he said, I was at E.T. Think about this, is the kid said, Superman, we're in 2025. And I was sitting there trying to think, is there a movie I've been to where there was a real ovation? I was like, have I been in one of these moments? And I asked the guy this, and he said, E.T. I was like, shit. He went back to 84 or whatever. Standing ovations for a movie. The kid was shook that Superman had a standing ovation. Now, CK, introduce why we're talking about this.
Well, Cody, first I got to ask, when you played it on the Friday free-for-all, did you guys get hit with this because of the music?
No.
Okay. You want to play it?
Yeah, I can pull it up.
So what are we about to look at? Yeah, but CK, tell me.
Yeah, set it up. Wow.
Yeah.
So essentially, as Tony alluded to on Friday, the new Superman dropped. It'll have opening. It was some unknown actor.
Plays Superman. It's not the dude that used to play.
It's not Henry Cavill. It's a brand new reboot of the story or what have you. It's actually pretty decent. I still like Cavill's Superman better. They just never really put him in a position to succeed as Superman, in my opinion, with the turmoil and all that stuff going on through DC. But anyway, we as Panthers fans can look back on our history and say that there has been one Superman as a Panthers fan is concerned, and that Superman has very much been absent from anything official from Carolina Panthers. That's almost to the point where it's so obvious that he's been absent from Panthers social media, from any retirement speeches from former players such as Greg Olsen or Thomas Davis.
He has not retired, by the way.
He's not been there for the induction to the Hall of Fame or Hall of Fame ceremonies, or even Ring of Honor ceremonies or anything like that, right? And on Friday, with the release of Superman, we've almost got like an olive branch, it feels like, where if you watch and you see the comments, it's most people are reading between the lines as though maybe we're starting to repair a relationship.
All right. Let's see if this repairs.
Superman!
I love you, Cam. I miss you. Look at it. There's so many of them. There's so many touchdowns. I love you. I miss you. Oh, this is perfect segue for this. Get out of here after this. All right, Cody, your thoughts on this?
It's almost over. We're going to skip through all of it.
We're going to sit through all of it.
Yep.
All right, Cody, your thoughts on this?
So listen, it was cool. It obviously scratches that nostalgia itch, but I think the only reason that they put it out was because of the Superman movie.
Yes.
And yeah,
I think
like,
it's
to me,
opportunistic.
yeah, like it's very opportunistic. I mean, I'm hopeful that it leads to something else. Maybe we see Cam Newton in the Hall of Honor. You know, maybe we see the team reach out to him and embrace him a little more this year. I don't know, but as of right now, just the pessimist in me just doesn't think that this is anything more than just the Panthers being like, yeah, we had Superman, not this dumb one in the movie coming out. So,
no, it's not even that. It's like if you really cared about him, you would have done it. Not made a Superman montage. It's like, oh, Superman's trending. Now we care about Cam,
our Superman.
Yeah. I feel like this was opportunistic by the Panthers.
Here's my argument against this. I am optimistic. I'm incredibly encouraged by this. And I think we can look at it if we wanted to dig a little bit deeper. One thing that even when Steve Smith was playing for us, one thing that was said was Cam Newton was too polarizing and was, he needed to take the lead, right? And I think when you're talking about a team that has been in constant turmoil, with no stability on leadership, no stability on any part of the team in any fashion whatsoever, this is the first year we start to feel that stability, right? And the culture is starting to come back. It feels like there's a genuine shift in mindset when it comes to Panthers fans about this team. And now that there is starting to be some foundation with regard to our team moving forward, you can start to bring in you can have the idea of having Cam Newton be an ambassador for the brand is no longer a distraction, right? And I think there's some value in that. And I think that when you look at what Matt Rule did, I think no matter what happens, you bring Cam Newton back into the fold with Matt Rule under the helm. He did that once and it just didn't work out well, right? Obviously we brought him back and then that failed that first year. And then, you're going to run into another situation. You try to do the same thing while Frank Reich's under it's just so much, so much turmoil in this team's, last 5 years. I think this could be the olive branch that starts us in that direction. They tell me that
I think Cam's going to be pissed about this, Cody.
I don't think so.
I think Cody's going to be like this. Is you took my Superman shit. Whenever you like me, you like me. Like when I dab, when I do this, you love me. When yes, I'm back. Remember, I'm back. The Panthers fucking pumped that, but they distance themselves.
Nope.
And look, Cam could be corny. We talked about Cam is cringe, like whatever it is. I think this is opportunistic by the Panthers. I don't like it. I'm not. I would say, how about this? Is I loved watching Cam do that Superman joint. I still will fight over this bitch. People don't even know why I love him so much, but people are like, oh, he wanted that. I said, man, he was a trendsetter. He made the dab a thing.
Sure, I agree.
You can talk shit about his stupid fonts or whatever he does, I'm going to show you guys some grandma pictures. I'm all on board. He's ahead of the curve. I feel like the Panthers are holding on to his tailcoats. Like, now he can help me. I used to date this hot girl, so let me show you these pictures. I dated with this hot girl.
I think he means in this scenario, not that they've been overly complimentary of Cam.
Just in this moment, they're like, oh, now we can talk about Cam because Superman's out and it's trending.
Well, time will tell. If there ends up being more where they do try to have more interaction between the team and him, then yeah, kudos to them. And this was the precursor to it. Right. But yeah, I'm on Tony's side with this. It does seem very opportunistic and very.
How about this? I gotta show you guys this. I show you guys this. Is last week we talked. It was a very tough conversation for me when we talked about Cam and the cringe, and then Cody tells me Cam was cringe, and I was so mad I almost walked out on my own fucking podcast. Right, like all of that. But so
did you read the comments under the video?
I clipped the video, right?
Yeah.
So I clipped our segment, and then I did an AI, asked AI to make a thread, like a thumbnail. And this is where like AI is it's incredibly different than it was a year ago, right? Right. So now it's like if you want to make a thumbnail, like add the pictures you want to help. So I said this is a picture I add. This is me. This is how much I love Cam Newton. You remember when he went grandma stage?
Yeah. He looked like a mom attending a PTA meeting.
Right. So I added two pictures. I added this picture where I go grandma bonnet. And then I added, let me see, hopefully I can just do this where did the Cam pic go? So I got the one Cam pic with the bonnet, right? So I put my pic with my bonnet where I go. By the way, my girlfriend said, I can't believe you do this shit. She said, literally, you go to games like that. I was like,
that's real dedication. She don't know nothing about that.
I love Cam.
That's like the hope dealer trying to talk to his children about
I know. It was like, she said, like, and
just don't understand.
But look at the thumbnail. Hold on. Where is the thumbnail? Oh, my God. I had it pulled up. All right, here it goes. The thumbnail. Look, this is what AI did, which is awesome and terrible. It'll make you cry. Look at what it did to my face. It changed the actual picture.
It changed the actual picture.
Look at my face. It changed the picture from me being ridiculous to fucking Danny. Not Danny. Not Danny DeVito. Who's the guy from Casino? I'm so mad. Look at this. It made
Robert De Niro.
Yeah, like look at that. Yeah, I'm Robert De Niro frowning.
I think I said she thought it was a hit job.
Look at that. Yeah, it's like this is the best shit. Do you know how many laughs and tears have made that my girl? She said, "Send me this picture." It's like my so ridiculous and awesome. All right, Cody, we got to be done. I hope.
I mean, yeah, we can be.
What's next?
Well, Teddy Bridgewater. Did y'all hear about this?
Suspended.
With Teddy Bridgewater.
Suspensions for money when you pay your quarterback $2 million.
Well, no, he was coaching a high school football team. Teddy Bridgewater has been suspended from Miami Northwestern for providing impermissible benefits to his players, which included Uber rides, physical therapy, pregame meals, recovery help, field paint, and more. And everybody's pretty upset about this. To show what he did, he spent $14,000 for training camp, over $9,500 on team pride sets, for pregame meals, recovery, Ubers for the players.
Did not get hookers. He did not get.
No, and people made the point too that part of what the NHSA or whatever the organization that suspended him is saying is that he's providing an unfair advantage that not all other teams get. But that's also the nature of it. There's a place called IMG Academy that spends millions of dollars from boosters that they get all types of advantage. So
I think high school players can be paid now by law, right? Like, as you can pay college players. Now they're recruiting high school players. It feels like an old hat moment. The guy actually did shit that's like, basically he should have just donated to the high school where they did the shit. Right? If he would have said, I'm going to give $40,000 to the high school, and then they used that for the sports program. Nothing seems. I thought he was coaching college, so I'm like,
no, he was coaching high school football, and this is his alma mater. He graduated high school from that place, and apparently it's not a great area. So he was helping
$700 a week for Ubers, though.
Yeah, but I mean, when you have kids that they could either go on their own and get into a bunch of other shit, or you can buy an Uber and make sure they get directly to their house.
Maybe
this is one of the things.
Practice.
I'm fully on Teddy Bridgewater's side on this one.
Okay.
I think it's bullshit. He also put out a response saying that they can't technically suspend him. I don't know. We'll have to see how it plays out, but most everyone's on.
How about this? Is that I liked him least when he was with us.
I like him more that he's no longer with us.
No, but like this story doesn't make me dislike him more.
No, not at all.
All right, man. Do you want to ice some fools up?
Yeah, let's do it. There's the long.
My bad.
No, go ahead.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Somebody better clip that.
No,
how salty that go. No, go ahead.
Yeah, that was the ice up pick right there. It's the longest running pick, the longest running segment on the longest running Panthers podcast, where we tell someone to ice up, toughen up to get it together. It's our moment where we can fucking bust anybody up. Our homage to Steve Smith. Who's got it going?
I'm very boring tonight. I don't have any images. I'm just icing up Elmo account on X, Twitter, whatever you call it. It got hacked, and he started posting a bunch of anti-Semitic and
Elmo,
shit.
Like
Elmo, the official Elmo account.
Did you see the Grok?
Yeah, Grok turned into Mecha Hitler,
a Nazi. It's like hates Jews.
It's kind of in the atmosphere right now.
Got too big of a nose for a twinner. You nosy ass motherfucker.
There's a bunch of clips of him saying tons of wild shit, man.
All right, so Elmo ice up. CK.
So I'm gonna, since I did my ice up for the bill last week, I'm gonna go ahead and go full fledged into what Cody was surprised I didn't jump into. Now that there's been a full week of this lack of any clarity on this Epstein situation, I'm icing up this administration. Like, the double down that is taking place right now, when there is so much of a focus, the people that he has put into power were putting on this Epstein list, being released, things like that, right? And all of a sudden they're saying there is nothing, but there's so much contradiction in this, even since February, about what's available and what's not. And now they're saying there is no evidence of anything. But they found 10,000 hours or 10,000 videos of this so-called, these videos that are graphic and damaging to children, right? And so you're saying that you can't identify a single person on any of those videos? That's irritating to, a bit problematic to me. So I'm icing up this entire saga, because up to this point, I felt like they've been hitting home runs. I just felt like, and here we are, one of the most important things to probably one of the most bipartisan beliefs that should be released of any other issue in the entire country. And we're going to fumble it this hard. Like, this is what was voted for. This is one of the things, if you want to talk about the other being voted for, this was one of the primary things people voted for. And it's not, I'm not saying that it was the number one issue, but it certainly wasn't number 10. And so I think that we need to get to the bottom of it. And here's the thing. People are saying that it could destroy our society. And, you're going to have stock market go absolutely asinine and all this stuff. That may be true. That may be true.
Do it anyway.
I'm telling you what.
Do it.
I do not want my entire, I don't want my country built on a foundation of that type of sin. And that is just unacceptable. And we cannot just say that because these people are important, this is the too big to fail situation we ran into with the banks in 2009.
It's even worse because it's a moral part.
That's what I mean, is now what you're doing is teaching a lesson that as long as you're powerful enough, we won't actually pursue you, which has always been the case, to be fair.
We all know it, but this is blatant in our face.
This is blatant. And now it's, but it was something that was somewhat unspoken previously. And now it's just being force fed to us, and we're being told to act like we're okay with it. And the response, I'm sorry, as someone who has, again, been more or less in pleased with the way that this administration has run things up to this point, I am not going to be surprised if there is some documentation on there that's putting him on that list with his response to with his response when he was being asked about the Epstein list.
He's like, I didn't even know Epstein lived.
Well,
he's saying, it's a Democrat conspiracy like Russiagate. It's
without releasing any information. There was no list, but now what he's saying is, why are you interested in a list written by Democrats? And so that's concerning to me, because one of the arguments is, if the Democrats wrote it as a way to try to damage you, why did they not release it?
Yeah, I think it's not even just a list. It's like, like if you met the dude, right? Like if you said hello to this person, are you on the list? Right? Like, because he's a very, but are you involved? Right? We know that, they know who's involved, who was part of problems. It's not like, I just met him at a gala and all of a sudden I'm on the list.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so we can be more strategic or careful in how we talk about what that list means. Fuck all them people, because they all make us feel terrible.
Yeah. It's right now, I think it's oddly a twist in there. It's when you have, Trump coming out on his own social media platform saying, let's not tear down what we've built up to this point and all of this. I could care, like, those are important things, but guess what? The man is not more important than the movement. And I would rather the movement be more successful and not be built on an entire mountain of lies that our entire government and society has been built upon, apparently, based on the fact that they're saying that it's too problematic to release this.
Yep. Boys, I gotta leave out a little bit early. I'm gonna let y'all close out.
I'll finish it up. My ice up goes to myself and Love Island.
Ooh, are you into it?
No.
Oh,
all right. Well, no. No and yes. No, I'm not into it. First, I never even knew this show existed. Right. But my ice up goes to this is that my kids watching the show Love Island, I walk in, so I have 17, 14, 12. And there's different things going on in my life. You're navigating stuff. And my son, 17, I walk in, I'm like, they're watching this show. This is 7 weeks ago, or not even that much. It's like 5 weeks ago. And I said, I don't know if you should be watching this with your young sister, right? And my son says, nah, it's not that bad. It's not a big deal, Dad. And I'll over parent, right? My idea is this is like, if you try to over parent, then you're going to get the opposite result.
Yeah.
So I won't say I trusted my son, but I was like, okay, fine. Just watch this show. And then they're watching it. They're cheering about it, like they're all watching it. And it wasn't that bad. And then there was one episode where I was like, this is fucking some gangster ass hoe shit, right? Like, I mean, people are like, I mean, it's like they're sexualizing every. I was like, it's okay. My 17-year-old, okay, you're running into the world, not that big, but I'm looking at my 12-year-old. I'm like, you shouldn't be watching. I got mad, not mad, but I was like, I don't think I should be endorsing this. I shouldn't be like cheering for you to watch this show, right? So I don't know how to deal with it as a parent. They're really into it. The whole world's into it, I guess. I just learned about it. But my ice pick really comes to me because I asked my kids, they're going, because I'm trying to be involved in them, like, and want them to care about me. And like, I'm like, so I sent them all a text and I said, who do you think will win Love Island? Who do you think will win Love Island? And their answers were way different than mine. And they were right. And I'm mad at myself for ever thinking Huda. I would say this. I'm distracted by giant butts. I'm icing myself up is that Huda is a nut job. That giant butt distracted. It's a fucking nutso. I was right in the beginning. They shouldn't be watching this. I hate Love Island. I hate myself for even knowing who these people are. That's the C3 Panthers podcast brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com, where every Tuesday night we chop up the latest Panthers news and opinions from the fan perspective. I hope this is the outro. Hey, we'll be back next Tuesday, CK.
And talking about training camp with the rookies arriving next Tuesday.
There we go. That's the show.